You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Woo, woo, woo. What's good? What's good? What's good? We are in the building, man. What it do? What it do? Let's bring the energy, baby. Let's bring the energy on this good, great Monday. This good, great, grand Monday. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brethren and sistren, kings and queens and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. Doctor's in the house. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it, man. We sound good. We look good. We feel good, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Everything's all good. Let's go ahead and hit this roll call real quick. You know, see who's rocking with us today, man. We have my brother Anubis in the building. We got my brother Slim Reaper in the building. I know y'all hit that like button already. I know y'all ain't slipping on your pimping. I know that. I know y'all hit that like button already. But look, check this out though, man. We have some things to talk about today, man. A couple things to talk about. Big announcement today that we already knew about. So it's not really new news, but it is news because it's official news, you know. So according to the Ring magazine, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is official as a referee with a whistle. You know what I'm talking about? Take your vitamin C, your B12, and milk thistle. Only the real ones know about that. You know what I'm saying? That happens when you have Caribbean parents. You know, so you know about all the herbs and remedies and homeopathic concoctions. You feel me? But yeah, man. So I think that's a good deal, man. So I have the WBO 140-pound champion, junior welterweight, Teofimo Lopez, defended his belt against his fellow American, you know, WBC 135-pound champion, Shakur Stevenson, man. So I think that would be a great fight. Like I said, you know, I'm still a little skeptical. I got to be honest, because Teofimo might do Teofimo things where he talks about being in the fight and doesn't really actually follow through. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm worried about. But we'll see how it goes, man. Right now, we are right on schedule. Then, and in addition to some things, we have some news in the ladies department. You know what I'm saying? One-time One time for the ladies. Got some news coming from Katie Taylor. Very interesting. We'll see if it's actually true or not. And then we have some other stuff we could talk about, like the Jenna Laura fight. We could talk about some fights that transpired this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? A couple things to talk about, you know. But before we get to all that, talk about that stuff, and I'm talking about, let's go ahead and say our prayers and thank the Most High. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this wonderful Monday. Thank you for bringing us to another day. We thank you for every day that ends with Y. And that is every day. You know, we thank you for every moment that we have, you know, because tomorrow's not promised. The next moment's not promised. You know, we're here today, gone tomorrow. So we just want to thank you for every single opportunity that we get to live out our lives to the fullest. And please let us be present, you know, let us be just aware of what's going on in this moment and just live our life, you know, because if you live in the future's not there yet. The future's not promised. So we don't want that to steal our joy, our plans for the future. We definitely don't want to live in the past because that's behind it. It can never be behind us. We can never revisit that again. So we just want to be, you know, we want to plan and move accordingly with all your strength and all your might to protect us and guide us. But we also want to be appreciative of what we have in the present as well. So we thank you for that, Lord. We ask you for your constant forgiveness, and please just lead us in the right direction with good health, good wealth, and all that and everything for not just us, but our families as well and our loved ones. In Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Man, we got my brother Average Someone in the building. Big member in the building. You see him with the Thanos power glove, the power stone, you know what I'm saying? The purple glove. We got TSO Bodega Tie in the building, you know what I'm saying? Big member, bro. The largest member, you feel me? Large and in charge of HNIC, you feel me? Shout out to my brother Bodega Tie with the PhD in boxing talk, man. Shout out to him. That's boss things right there, man. My brother Oscar Perez, mi hermano Carnal in the building with the big Thanos purple glove. And we got my brother Unity sliding in here with the good gold, aka brownish, aka I tried to make it gold, but it looks a little brown glove in the building. That's long-term memberships right there. Amen. Amen, my brother Average Someone. Amen, my brother. But yeah, let's get right to it, man. We're going to go right into it, man. We're not even going to play with it. We're not going to play with it, man. Yes, sir. Spam them tie emotes in the chat. You feel me? But we're not even going to play with it, man. Let's get right to it, man. So we have Teofimo Lopez. No, first off, ladies first. Ladies first. We are gentlemen around here. No matter how much that some of y'all act like degenerates and heathens, we are gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? That's how we are in the Boxing Talk family. So let's start off with the ladies. Katie Taylor has seemingly moved on from Amanda Serrano. You know, she's 3-0 against Amanda Serrano. So that was one of the most unnecessary trilogies in boxing that we've seen, right? That goes up there with Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora's trilogy when you have the same winner every single time. Why are we having a trilogy? It's beyond me. But yeah, so that she had a trilogy. She's seemingly moving on. Amanda Serrano is she has an opponent, a fight coming up. And Katie Taylor said, hey, you know, even though I like doing rematches and trilogies, obviously, for whatever reason, our Irish sister doesn't want to revisit the only fight that actually deserves a trilogy, and that's with Chantel Cameron. You know, she's opted not to go the Chantel Cameron route, and I'm hearing reports, rumors, speculation that she's looking to not only fight somebody not named Chantel Cameron, she's looking to fight somebody that's not even a boxer themselves. And that person would be Ronda freaking Rousey. Yeah, how about that for a bomb in your applesauce? What is that? Katie Taylor versus Ronda Rousey. What are we doing?
What?
So, like, I'm gonna be honest, you know, of course I'm not gonna be mad at it, because of course it's gonna be it's going to be akin to what we saw with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, right? You know, but Conor McGregor was at least an active fighter. We haven't seen Ronda Rousey in many a moon. I mean, I don't really pay attention to MMA like that, but I don't think we've seen her since she lost, right? To Amanda Nunes. And, you know, and before she got whooped by Holly Holmes. And Holly Holmes, I like Holly Holmes. I actually really like her a lot. You know, and I was so glad that she held it down for boxing in the cage when she beat on Ronda Rousey. But Holly Holm is a great fighter, right? A great boxer. But if she beats you as a boxer in your own field, in the cage, what makes us think that Ronda Rousey is going to be able to hold her own against a better boxer in a boxing ring? It literally doesn't make sense. We've seen Ronda Rousey get whooped on her own playing field by a boxer in Holly Holmes. So we think that she can't beat a boxer in the cage on her own, on her home turf, but she's going to go in foreign turf in a ring and beat a better boxer in Katie Taylor? what are we doing? what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we really doing? So, like I said, it's still a rumor, it's still in the rumor phase, but it is a strong rumor. I've seen it from a reputable source, a source that hasn't really steered me wrong yet, you know. But you know, nothing has been official yet. But if it is going to be official, you can anticipate it to be in Las Vegas in 2026 in the summer. So next summer, good Lord willing. So I don't know, man. I'm not really excited for it. I'm gonna be honest. I want to see Katie Taylor fight real boxers, but at the same time, I'm the same person that wasn't excited for Floyd Mayweather versus Conor Ben. I also wasn't excited for Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, and I wasn't excited. Although retroactively, after I watched it, I became excited, but I wasn't initially excited for Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua either. So I'm gonna keep the same energy, and I'm definitely not excited for Katie Taylor versus Ronda Rousey, especially when you have Chantel Cameron, the person that you went 1-1 with, who actually beat you the first time, and then she gave you the rematch. You know what I'm saying? And then you didn't want to rematch her. That's kind of crazy. You know, didn't want to run it back for the rubber match. It's kind of crazy in my personal opinion. So I'm not saying Katie Taylor is scared, but it looks like she's ducking. I'm gonna need Ronda Rousey to get that Chantel Cameron smoke. Talking about no gosh dang Katie Taylor. What are we doing? I'm just saying. You feel me, Slim Reaper? I'm just saying, bro. What are we doing, man? Amen, my brother. Amen. Shout out to Average. Somebody said, man, I just made some pancakes and I got no milk. It's a mad world. Hey, man. Hey, pancakes sound good right now too. Oh, my camera ain't focused. Sorry about that. But yeah, man. So like I said, I'm not mad at it. Of course, why would I be upset about it? I watch it, but you know, they're also talking about it being on Netflix, so you could assume that if it's in the summer, it probably wouldn't be the main event. So it might be on another crazy fight. Remember, they were talking about potentially Floyd versus Manny. I'm not saying that would go on Netflix. I would assume that would go on PBC, but maybe PBC could cut a deal with Netflix too. Or, you know, that's assuming that Manny beats Rolly Romero if they fight and acquires a belt. Because, you know, Floyd would be looking to come back and be the oldest person and surpass B-Hop as the oldest fighter to get a belt. Because I think Floyd is, 48, 49, something like that. So that's a potential matchup. Or even another potential matchup in the summer for a Netflix explosion could be even Mike Tyson versus Floyd being revisited again. Like I said, I'm not interested in any of those fights for real, but it is a spectacle and I will partake and I'll watch and consume it. You feel me? So I would have Katie Taylor beating the hell out of Ronda Rousey, easy, no problem. You know, say easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I would have Katie Taylor running through Rousey like shit through draws. That's just me though. If it comes into fruition, like I said, it's still in the speculation rumor phase, but I just want to bring that to y'all for the one time. Now moving on to the meat and potatoes, man. The biggest news going on right now, in my personal opinion, and I think if you love boxing, that should be the biggest news. It should dictate the airways right now, and that's Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, man. You know, I think it's going to be a good fight, man. Like I said, I know there's going to be some reservations about it because people are like, hold on, it could have potential to be boring. And it's so crazy to be like, I'm not saying that's not the case, right? Obviously, if you watch boxing, you know it has the potential to be boring because of who's fighting, right? Shakur Stevenson, and a lot of people like to use the De Los Santos fight and let that overwhelm or I guess supersede all of his other fights. I feel like it's almost grossly exaggerated because his fight was Shakur's fight was that is. It was good. Shakur and Jamel Herring was good. Shakur and Valdez was good. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like people are just using that one instance to overshadow everything else. Artem Harutyunyan was exciting. Josh Paddy versus Shakur was exciting, but I get it, right? That's still a stain on your resume, right? It's a blemish, and Teofimo has a blemish of his own, right? You know, of course, his last fight, Arnold Barbosa, wasn't that good, but people kind of forget about that because even though it wasn't that exciting, it was still the most exciting fight on the card. Because remember, it was on that terrible card in Madison Square Garden for the New York Times Square, right? And not Madison Square Garden, but in Times Square, excuse me. Headlined by Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, where Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, that fight was trash, right? Outside of the knockdown, Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia's fight was trash, and mostly that the blame gets put on Ryan Garcia because he got put on his ass and he ain't do nothing to get back.
Know your fucking place, trash.
We talk about Devin Haney getting put on his butt by an overweight cheater, but Devin Haney at least fought back. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia got knocked down one time, touched the canvas, got sat on his back pockets, ain't fight for the rest of the fight. He ain't fight for the rest of the night. You feel me? So that fight was boring. And then Devin Haney versus Jose Carlos Ramirez. Yes, Devin Haney won in a dominant fashion, but it was not an entertaining fashion. It was not an intriguing fashion. It was not something that we would even go back and rewatch, right? He did win, but it was also boring. So I'm just giving you I'm just laying down the foundation as to why Teofimo versus Barbosa is seen as the best fight, but people may confuse that as it actually being a good fight. Teofimo versus Barbosa was not that entertaining either. It was just more entertaining than the aforementioned two fights that were before, you know what I'm saying, that were on the same card. That's all. So Teofimo Barbosa was okay. You know, Teofimo definitely won, shout out to him. But, you know, where was the effort from Barbosa? I feel like Teofimo could have whooped him more, and Barbosa could have tried more. You know, it was a lack of effort. But the fight that was really, really bad, I mean, really, 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 really bad, I mean, really, 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 really bad, I can't even emphasize it enough, was Teofimo versus Jermaine Ortiz. That fight was trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
So I say all that to say that, yes, it is a reasonable concern to be, I guess, cautious and wary of the fact that Shakur versus Teofimo could be a terrible fight. But I just hate to hear that. I don't really hate it, but it's kind of sad to hear that coming from, like, you know, I get it. I'm not a Teofimo fan. I think he's a racist, ignorant piece of crap, right? But he's a good fighter. You see what I'm saying? And he is in his prime. And he only has one blemish on his record. That's a loss to Kambosos, which I don't think that's bad. I think that's also over-exaggerated how bad it is, because Kambosos is a champion. And I respect champions. And not every fighter is a champion or can be a champion. So I'm not saying that Kambosos is the best champion or even a great champion. But he's a good fighter, you know? So I think people over... Now, hold on. I'm not saving Teofimo, because Teofimo should have won. Given Teofimo's name of the takeover, he couldn't even take over the ring against Jermaine Ortiz. Kambosos barely did against Barbosa. You know, that is a knock on him, because he should be, if he's what he says he is, he should be able to beat Kambosos. But, you know, sometimes things happen, and sometimes we underestimate others. And I think Kambosos, everybody, including Teofimo, underestimated Kambosos. What I'm saying is that, you know, Teofimo, outside of that one blemish, he beat Lomachenko, he beat Jermaine Ortiz. You feel me? He beat Kami. He beat quite a few people, to where Barbosa, so where he's a guy in his prime. He's in his 20s, right? So he's in his prime. He's a champion right now, right? The longest reigning champion at 140. Then we have Shakur Stevenson. Yes, he had a terrible performance against De Los Santos. That was garbage, right? But he's an undefeated fighter. He has no blemishes. The only stain that he has is that people think he's boring, right? And that he runs or whatever, but which I think is extremely over exaggerated. But he's not the most entertaining fighter, I will say that. However, he's still a guy that's in his 20s, right? He's in his prime, and he's undefeated, and he's moving up to fight Teofimo, a guy that we called it's two of the four kings, right? Teofimo, Shakur, Devin Haney, and Shakur. I mean, and Gervonta Tank Davis are coming together. So I think as a boxing aficionado, we should highlight that part instead of highlighting the potential of it to be trash. Of every fight could be trash. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, that wasn't the most exciting fight, but the buildup, the hype around it was good enough for us to be excited, because we know that was indicative of two top names in the sport. It was representative of two of the best guys in the sport that we want to see fight for a long time. So yes, maybe it was underwhelming when they actually got into the ring. But okay, let us be unpleasantly surprised. But as far as the anticipation and the buildup, we should not be complaining about this fight at all. This is great. This is what we want. It just shows the culture of boxing, man, and the nature of these people that are supposed to be in positions and work in the capacity to advance the sport, to get people intrigued by the sport. Like, why are you, Max Kellerman or Mike Coppinger or whoever else on your platform to celebrate a Ring Magazine champion in Teofimo, warning the public like, oh man, you know, this fight might be boring. Every fight might be boring. So once again, like, it's just, there's so many things that you can highlight, in my personal opinion, to make people excited about this fight, which is what I'm going to try to do, without having to drag it down. You know what I'm saying? No, I will, like I said, I'm not saying that these truths aren't there. Of course, you know, Shakur has been involved in a notoriously boring fight with De Los Santos. Teofimo was involved in a notorious boring fight with Jermaine Ortiz. but they have other fights to where it was exciting, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great fight, and I'm looking forward to it, man. And if it actually comes into fruition, I still have my doubts because, you know, Teofimo Lopez has always been calling out people every time. In fact, every time in recent memory that he calls out somebody of a high caliber, he never fights them. He says, Brian Norman, hey man, Brian Norman, when you become a full WBO champion, I'm going to use my right as a super champion because you can do that with the WBO, and I'm going to fight you when you get elevated, right? Brian Norman not only beat Giovanni Santillan, upset that guy who was undefeated in his hometown. Yeah, he upset him. You know, shout out to Brian Norman. He fought him, still no sign of Teofimo. Then Brian Norman went on and fought Derek Cuevas, still no sign of Teofimo. Then he went on and fought Jin Sasaki, still no sign of Teofimo. And then he went and lost his belt to Devin Haney, still no sign of Teofimo. Speaking of Devin Haney has been, it's been documented by Devin Haney, DHP, Bill Haney, and Turki Al-Sheikh that they pursued a fight with Teofimo Lopez, and they were offered a big, nice, sizable contract to fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez turned it down. Speaking of Turki Al-Sheikh, he also came out and disclosed that he was pursuing a fight with Teofimo and Keyshawn Davis, another former WBO champion, right? To which Teofimo once again declined, right? And then, you know, there's another fighter too by the name of Jerome Boots Ennis that he claimed he wanted to fight. And if that fight didn't come into fruition, I'm not really blaming Boots or Teofimo. But if you think that Boots was ducking Teofimo, then I have a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you too. You know, I'm talking about for a couple thou wows. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, put an M on it. Put $1 million on it. I want to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. If you think Boots was ducking Teofimo, you sick in the head. Now, and then I can still keep going, man. Who else? Subriel Matias. He was supposed to fight Subriel Matias, and I know Subriel Matias sustained a hand injury, right? But they didn't revisit that fight. They could have revisited it because Subriel Matias afterwards, while Teofimo went and fought Jermaine Ortiz, Subriel Matias went on and fought, who did he fight? Liam Paul, lost his belt, but got it back, and now, or got another belt back. He's a WBC champion, and Subriel Matias slapped him in his face, or slapped him on the head top like a little child. You wouldn't want to get that back? You don't want to get that back, Teo? That's crazy. I thought you was a takeover, bro. You don't want to get that back? You just gonna let somebody just run down and slap you like you Jamal Charlo? That's crazy. I thought only Caleb Plant did things like that. You feel me? Shout out to Sweet Hands Plant, but apparently not. I guess Subriel Matias could walk down and slap Teofimo. He don't want to get his get back. So there's just a lot of fighters. Even Gary Hunter Russell has mentioned fighting Teofimo. Richard Sahichin has mentioned fighting Teofimo. And those are for unifications. You don't want to unify. You don't want to take over your division. I mean, your name's Takeover. Don't you want to take over the division? So I'm just laying down the groundwork to tell you why I'm skeptical of the fight still coming into fruition. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully it does, but I could tell you why I'm weary, why I'm cautious of it not happening, and I could substantiate that with facts, because there's another guy who Teofimo coincidentally called out again today. He said he's gonna walk through Shakur, and when he's done walking through Shakur, he's gonna go and fight Bud Crawford. He wants to fight Bud Crawford.
What?
Now, I'm going to say this, though. With that being said, I'm going to defend Teo right here. I'm going to defend Teo. Yeah, average. Yeah, Charlo had to catch a stray, man. Shout out to my brother 2-4 in the building. Big member in that building. I'm going to defend Teo right. It's a rare one now. I'm going to defend Teo. If Teo walks through Shakur, who's effectively Terrence Bud Crawford's little bro, right? If he walks through little bro, if he walks through the henchman, if he beats the sidekick, oh, Bud got to go see him. I would not be mad at that. Now, okay, all honesty, Bud don't have to do anything. He can do whatever he wants. But I'm just saying, if you gonna have little bro move up to try to fight Teo, and Teo whips on little bro, then I'm gonna need Terrence Crawford to come down and holla at the dude that done whipped on little bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think if Teofimo beats Shakur, which I'm not sure of, I think it's a pretty close fight. I would lean towards Shakur, but I think it's more, I'll say more 60-40. It's close. You know, maybe 55-45 in favor of Shakur, but I think it's a pretty close fight, man. I just think Shakur is a more intelligent fighter. And yeah, you know, Teofimo's notorious not being able to adapt or really executing a game plan, or even forget executing a game plan. He really doesn't even implement a game plan. So I'm just not sure. But if Teo could do that, shit, Teo and Bud, sign me up. You feel me? Shout out to Smooch, said, I can't wait to just witness it. I'm so tired of making predictions. I be dead wrong. What up, Smoochy? Smoochy in the building. One time for the ladies. Shout out to my brother, Big Dog Willie, in this thing, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to Big Dog Willie dropping the biscuits in the chat, man. I appreciate that super chat, man. Show some love in the super chat. Show some love in the cash appers right there. I appreciate it. Keeps us going and growing. Shout out to my bro Big Dog Willie said Tank Maniacs the reason why city of Atlantis is lost underwater because they be drowning in Tank sweat and hair grease, huh? That's crazy, man. Nah, bro, don't put that Atlantis on Tank, man. Don't do that to my boy Javante, man. Chill out my boy Javante, man. Shout out to my boy Big Dog Willie, man. Always showing love in the super chat, man. Thank you, bro. Let me catch up to some of the chat. He said, Tufo says, Willie, why you ain't got that energy for AJ? I'm Shalim. Oh, talk to him. Put him on the hot seat. Shout out to G Tatted in the building. What's good, brethren? My boy Tay in the building was good. He said, if Tio somehow beat Shakur, Tank better fight him next. I'm not gonna lie, Tay. I'm not gonna lie. I will say this. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm so glad you brought that up, right? First of all, let me finish wrapping up Terence Crawford. I don't think Teofimo would really fight Terence Crawford, but I'm saying if he really wanted to, I think the best time to fight him would be after he beats Shakur, if that's true. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that this is a time where I'm not mad at Teofimo's call out because that's the perfect time to do it. Now, would Terence Crawford actually fight Teo? I don't know if he would entertain that. You know, I don't think he'll get. There's rumors that he says he wants 100 million to fight Jake Paul or 100 million to fight Cinnamon. He's not gonna get 100 million for Teofimo, I don't think. So I mean, but you know, Turks is potting him, so maybe. But I can't imagine that. So I don't think that fight would happen. But I wouldn't mind Teofimo trolling and do whatever you want, or whatever he feels is necessary to entice Bud to get that fight. If you whoop on Shakur, man, I think that's hey, I wouldn't even be mad at the trolls. You know what I mean? Obviously, as long as he doesn't step over the line and make it racist or nothing like that. You know, with the exception of it being racist, which is possible, you know, with Teofimo. It's not outside the realm of possibility with Teofimo. If he does make it racist, I don't support that. But if he's just talking trash, then you know, I ain't mad at that. You feel me? But yeah, speaking of shout out to Tay. Tay said if Teofimo beats Shakur, then Tank gotta go line him up. I agree with that, man. I will say this, bro. I know that Tank is the most decorated champion out of those four, right? Out of Teofimo, sorry, not the most decorated, excuse me. Devin Haney's the most decorated out of Devin Haney, Shakur, Teofimo, and Tank. But Tank has fought the most champions, right? The ones that were actually belt holders, right? Out of them all. But, you know, they say, what have you done for me lately? I think Tank beats them all. However, I could think that Tank beats them all day. We need these fights to happen. So if Shakur and Teofimo actually comes into fruition, and then Devin Haney just moved up and beat Brian Norman, who was the undefeated champion at the time at welterweight, Tank looking like he's getting passed. It looks like they passing him by, man. I have to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Because Tank, he was talking about fighting Jake Paul. Not even that fight happened. And then he was fighting Lamont Roach, which I told you from get-go. I told people were talking trash about me, right? When I said that Lamont Roach is not really a bad fight. And people say, oh no, he's cherry picking, Doc. He's cherry picking the little guy. And Lamont Roach is a champion, bro. You forgot that Lamont Roach is a champion who only has one L, and that L was to Jamel Herring. What's wrong with that? Jamel Herring was a championship caliber fighter. He's a former champion as well. So I didn't think that the fight was that bad, but I get it, right? Nobody wanted to see Tank versus Lamont Roach, so I understood the disdain for that fight. But then fast forward, when Lamont Roach has a good fight, and some people thought he won, right? It was a controversial draw. Then they say, oh, well, Tank is weak for not rematching him. You want him to rematch the guy that you didn't want him to fight in the first place? I'm confused. But however, that's not the topic of what we talk about right now. What I'm talking about is the fact that Tank didn't even rematch a guy that a lot of people thought he should rematch after they thought he cherry picked him. So with you doing that and in that boat, and you got Shakur fighting Zepeda, now turning around and fighting Teofimo, and you have Teofimo fighting Barbosa is mandatory and turning around and fighting Shakur. Then you have Devin Haney fighting Jose Carlos Ramirez after getting cheated, watching him, and then moving up and beating an undefeated champion that you stamped. You know, because Tank said that he said that Brian Norman's a true champion. You know, that Atlanta and the Dirty South got them one with Brian Norman, right? And then Devin Haney went and beat him. Yes, look at the little yeah, but I'm gonna need Tank to come back with a vengeance, or not come back at all. You know, you can retire too. It's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one getting punched on. You see what I'm saying? I'm not the one throwing punches or getting punched on. So you know, Tank is one of my favorite fighters. Gervonta Tank Davis, Cinnamon, Junta Nakatani, Terence Crawford, Caleb Plant. Those are some of my favorite fighters. But you know, I gotta call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody above critiques, and ain't nobody below compliments. I bestow compliments and critiques as I see them to be appropriate. You see what I'm saying? We got the lovely La Jessica in the building. Salutations to you. One time for the ladies. Shout out to the ladies of the chat, man. We love when we have the women folk of boxing talk in the building, man. We love it, man. It keeps us going and growing. You feel me? Shout out to the ladies. But yeah, I just think that's what I said. Shout out to my brother B Dog, big member in the building. One time for all the members, man. Turn up on the members, man. Shout out to you. He said that's what I said. Yeah, B Dog, and I know B Dog is a Tank supporter too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really consider myself. I'm not too hot and too cold on any fighter. You see, I give compliments and critiques where they're due. I'm human. I do have my preferences, but I consider myself. Now, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but if you peep the chat, we have Tank fans in here. We have Teofimo fans in here, Haney fans in here, AJ fans in here, Canelo fans, Usyk fans, Bud fans, Spence fans, because I call it like I see it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I'm picking a fight now, that's where my preference will show. But when it comes to me critiquing what's going on and giving credit where credit is due, hey man, hey, it's tough. If anybody, I'm not saying Tank won't be a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Shakur won't be a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Teofimo won't be a Hall of Famer. But if any of them are Hall of Famers right now, based off a resume, the accolades that they achieved and the personnel which they fought at the time that they fought him, is Devin Haney. If they all retired right now, I'm not saying they all won't get in, but Devin Haney is the one that's bona fide. I mean, he's the youngest undisputed male champion in the 4-belt era. You can't take that away from him. You feel me? He done beat Lomachenko, controversial or not. It was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a robbery, but it was a close fight. I personally scored it for Lomachenko, but I wasn't mad about it because I had a couple swing rounds and I scored it 7-5. If you have a couple swing rounds and a 7-5 score, that means it could have went Devin Haney's way too. You see what I'm saying? That was not a robbery. It just depended on what you were looking for that night. You see, so I did not have a problem with it, even though I scored for Lomachenko. But the point is, Devin Haney beat Lomachenko. You feel me? Devin Haney beat George Kambosos. Devin Haney just beat Brian Norman. You feel me? Jose Carlos Ramirez, who's a former Olympian and former unified champion. It is what it is, man. So he's the youngest undisputed champion in boxing. It's hard to top that. Well, sorry, he's the youngest undisputed male champion. The youngest undisputed champion in all of boxing is Gabriela Fundora. One time for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? We talk about all boxing around here, not just the men, not just the heavyweights, not just the little weights, not just the women. We talk about all of it, baby. Yep. So we got to see how it goes, man. We got to see how it goes, bro. I said Tank versus Big Dog Willie on Misfits. That'd be crazy. Shout out to Seth from Pet, big member in the building. What's good, Seth? Seth from Pet said Tank should fight the winner of Roach or Cruz and make it clear where he stands in boxing because people are moving on. Hey, that's not a bad assessment, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Gervonta Tank Davis. I would love, you know me. You know, I've said this, you know, I think Gervonta Tank Davis beats Lamont Roach, a.k.a. Abdul Wahid. I think he beats Lamont Roach in a rematch. I think he needs to revisit that. I think he needs to because, like I said, I didn't feel this way. I didn't call it a cherry pick, but the general consensus around the boxing landscape was that he was pulling up a smaller guy. Again, because that's what people say he does, right? Habitually. So he's pulling up a smaller guy. So it's seen as a cherry pick. It definitely wasn't the fight that anybody anticipated or asked for. That's a fact. So if you're bringing up a guy that we didn't want and then you don't even beat him convincingly, not only do you not beat him convincingly, you don't even beat him at all. It's a draw. And then plus there was a controversy with the hair grease. You getting your eye wiped down like Boosie wiped me down. And you took the knee that wasn't counted for. That's not his fault. You know, that was a referee blunder. But, you know, all these things stack against you and you don't rematch him, it looks bad. It is what it looks bad. So me being who I am, I would love for him to get that back because I feel like I would. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to him. We don't even know if he's going to box again. But to say what Sent said, I would love for him to fight the winner of the Roach and Cruz fight if, emphasis on the if Roach wins. It's contingent on Roach winning. To me, there's no need to fight Pitbull Cruz. I feel like people exaggerate how close that fight was. I think people are just more infatuated with the fact that Cruz unexpectedly went the distance. Going the distance is not the same as it being a close fight. I know Gervonta Tank Davis is a big puncher, so we expect him to knock everybody out. But that's all Cruz. Cruz fought a good, valiant. He put forth a valiant effort. Don't get it wrong. You know, Cruz is one of my favorite fighters. But I got to tell the truth, too. Tank won a unanimous decision for a reason. It was not that close. I think it was blown out of proportion how close that fight was. Similarly to Jerome Boots and Karen Chukazan. I think Karen Chukazan's a great fighter. I think he could be a champion at 147. But I don't think Boots and Karen was close just because Boots didn't knock him out. Another fight that ended by unanimous decision. Another fight that was exaggerated how close it was, in my personal opinion, was Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov. Another fight that was a unanimous decision, meaning every single judge scored for the victor, and the victor was Terence Crawford. I just think that because Terence Crawford was on like an 11-fight KO streak and he did not knock out the relatively unknown, undefeated Israel Madrimov, champion, undefeated Israel Madrimov, by the way, when he was moving up at his 154 debut. Like, if you're not going to knock somebody out, I think that's a time where it's okay that you don't knock somebody out when you're moving up in your debut against an undefeated champion. Like, what are we doing, bro? I mean, people be asking for too much. But anyway, I didn't think it was that. I think it was, don't get me wrong, it was a good fight. You know, I watched it multiple times, but I don't think, like, okay, this is what I mean why I'm saying it's a close fight. It wasn't a close fight. If you thought Pitbull Cruz beat Tank, you full of crap. If you thought, let me say that again. If you thought Tank lost to Pitbull Cruz, you full of crap. If you thought Israel Madrimov beat Terence Crawford, you're full of crap. If you think Karen beat Boots Ennis, I call bullshit. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying they weren't good fights. I'm not saying they weren't valiant efforts. I'm saying that a close fight to me means that you could really see how somebody scored it for the other person that didn't win. There's no way you could tell me Israel Madrimov beat Bud, or you tell me Karen beat Boots, or Isak beat what's his name? Tank. Or give me another fight that they exaggerate the how close it was. I don't even remember what another fight that they exaggerate how close it was. You feel me? So I'm trying to think of another fight that they say was close that wasn't that close. Of recent memory. I don't know, man. But there's a couple fights that they say is close that I really don't think is. Hey, Floyd and Oscar's another one that I think people exaggerate how close it was. You feel me? But that's just me though. I don't know. I could be tripping. Shout out to the lovely Jessica said, right, I don't want to see Tank versus Cruz. So yeah, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Jessica. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind it. But it's like, I'd rather, I could think of plethora of other fights that I'd rather see, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But if Cruz wins, Tank could go get a 140-pound WBC interim belt and then maybe be next for Super Matias if he wants. But like I said, I just don't think that, like I said, I'd watch it. I'm a boxing head. I'll watch it. But it's not a fight that I'm like, oh, yeah, I really want to see that. If anything, I want to see, I'll be honest, man, I want to see Gervonta versus Shakur. That's a fight I want to see. I want to see Gervonta. I'd rather see Gervonta versus Raymond Murataya. He's an IBF champion, right? That's a unification. I'd rather see Gervonta versus Andy Cruz if Andy Cruz beats Raymond Murataya, or Floyd Schofield versus Gervonta, or Gervonta versus Abdullah Mason, or even, hey, I'll take Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes put up a valiant effort against Abdullah Mason, but I just don't really, I'm not really too intrigued by Cruz versus, and like I said, I like Cruz a lot. He's one of my favorite fighters because win or lose, he's gonna put forth the effort, and I love fighters that put forth the effort. You see what I'm saying? And they got that extra gear and that never quit in them. But I didn't think that fight was that close, to be honest, from where I'm sitting at. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong though. To each his own. Shout out to Tufo. Tufo says Shakur's cooking Tio. Yeah, I think Shakur's gonna beat Tio as well. But I will say this, like I said, I maintain that the more I think about it, the more Teofimo's convincing me that it could be a pretty gosh dang close fight, man. You know, but you know, I'm gonna. It's hard to sway me once I make my initial assessment, and from what I saw, you know, what I think, I'm going with Shakur right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my brother, Boxing Talk up north, man. We got Big Nauf in the building. What's good, Ryan? Big member in the building. Y'all check out my brother, Boxing Talk up north, man. That's a good dude right there, man. Good content creator, good boxing analyst, and more importantly, a good brother. You know what I'm saying? Check him out. Check him out. Tay said Tank versus Adam Azim in Wembley, man. Stop it, man. But yeah, so with Shakur versus Tio, I got Shakur winning. It's going to be in New York City. It's January 31st, good Lord willing. So at the top of 2026 is looking strong right now, if it comes into fruition. And we're going to see what the undercard is. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be promoted by Eddie Hearn. It's going to be in New York. I said that already, January 31st. And I'm hoping that the undercard is pretty good. You know, I am going with Shakur, but if Teofimo beats Shakur, hey, just may the best man win. That's gonna be a good fight. Whoever wins deserves it. And I would actually, you know, as much as I wouldn't mind him calling out Bud, I would much rather see Teofimo actually fight some of his some of his fellow champions, right? Because there's 4 champions at 140. You have Teofimo representing the WBO at 140. You have the Haitian American Richardson Hitchens representing the IBF at 140. You have another American, Gary Anton Russell, representing the WBA. And then the WBC is who? Puerto Rican American Subriel Matias. So there's 4 belt holders in that division. So I would like to see some consolidation, man. Let's get some unifications. 126 as well. The featherweight, you know, you have WBA Nick Ball, WBC Stephen Fulton. I know he's fighting Oshiki Foster, moving up at 130, but he's another champion at 126. You have who else? Rafael Espinosa, who I personally believe is the best at 126. He's a WBO champion, and you have the IBF champion Angelo Leo. You know what I'm saying? So let's get some fights. Same with 135. That's why 135 so frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Let's see some unifications, man. That's what I want, man. So all these cross divisional matchups are cool. Don't get me wrong. But even Lamont Roach, you feel me? Like Lamont Roach is moving up to fight Isa Pipo Cruz at 140 for an interim belt. But you have 4 other champions at 130 as well. You have WBO as Emmanuel Navarrete. IBF is Sugar Nunez. WBC is Oshiki Foster. WBA is Lamont Roach, man. Let's get some unifications, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's prioritize these unifications, man. That's just me personally, you know. I like to see that. You feel me? That's just me, though. Shout out to Birdman in the chat. What's good, my brother? Big member in that building. Hey, yo, hold on, man. Those are a whole lot of 6s right there. Whoa, what you doing, man? Hey, hold on now. Those are a whole lot of 6s, my brother. You all different type. I know you shouting out. Ryan. I know you shouting out, Ryan. That just look crazy though. Tank versus Hitchens. Once again, like I wouldn't mind it, but first off, Hitchens ain't gonna fight Tank. But number 2, like I said, you know, I'm not. If you don't establish yourself as the best champion in that division, I'm not really too excited about cross-divisional matches. I feel like we got to prioritize some things. Like I said, Tank versus Hitchens, who would be mad at that? I wouldn't be mad at that, especially because they have their friendship too. So there's some background there. You know what I'm saying? We even got them dancing together like this. You know what I'm saying? That's Hitchens right there. That's Gervonta and Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Hitchens ain't got no rhythm. Tank knocking him smooth out. I ain't gonna lie. I like Hitchens, man. But he get knocked smooth out if he move as stiff as he did right there. I'm telling you, he gonna be laid stiff, guys. You know what I'm saying? On the canvas. But I wouldn't mind it, you know, and they have some background there. They have familiarity. So it's something that could build it up. It'll be interesting. But like I said, I'd rather see Hitchens versus Gary Anton Russell, Teofimo, Subriel Matias. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather see Tank versus Murataya, Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Abdullah Mason, something like that. And then once you get unified, somebody has 2 belts, then move up and do whatever you got to do. But let's get some straightening first. But you know what else I seen, though? This kind of had me hot a little bit, too. Had me a little bothered. You feel me? Shout out to Top Dog. What it do? Jacoby says, Shakur hands too brittle. I think Spar may have ruined his career. If Tell has a TO night, it's over. If Teo has a TO night, it's over. Shout out to Jacoby, man. I think you meant to say if Teo has a Teo night. I'm gonna get to that because I was about to move on to another topic that favors Shakur. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not mad at anybody picking Teofimo. What's wrong with that? I'm not mad at it. But for you to say that he has brittle hands, I mean, Shakur's undefeated. So it sounds like you scared for Teofimo. I'm not mad at you rooting for Teofimo. Hey, you like Teofimo, he's a good fighter. You see what I'm saying? But it sounds like you're scared. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what you mean he has brittle hands? I mean, if he has brittle hands, and all the more easier it'll be for Teofimo. You see what I'm saying? I mean, he had brittle hands throughout his career, right? Throughout the duration of his career, he's been accused of having brittle hands, and he's won every single fight. So, I mean, we'll see. Zepeda couldn't take advantage of the brittle hands. Yeah, so I wouldn't be mad at it. You know, Artem Harutyunyan couldn't take advantage of the brittle hand. So we'll see how it goes, man. That's why they fight, right? We fight to see. But what I don't really care for is when people say things like that. Like, I mean, that doesn't bother me. You have your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw somebody say, matter of fact, I'm gonna just show y'all. I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me see. Hopefully I can find it if I can remember where I saw it. It was in a boxing article, chat. And you know I love reading the boxing articles. Speaking of boxing articles, check out Doc's Corner, man. The new issue is dropping on Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Doc's Corner, man. That's where we drop our newsletters. Beehive, it is free. It's a free newsletter. Sign up. You know what I'm talking about? Check it out. You'll love it. Where we talk about all things boxing. You know what I'm saying? Your boy again is writing on, because some of these writers, they be they be wilding, you know. So let's look at this right here. So this person, I gotta find it, man. Oh, I can't find it. Give me a second, chat. Hopefully I can find it. But anyway, they said something about Shakur not fighting anybody. And it's like, bro, what you mean Shakur hasn't fought anybody? Like, come on, dog. Like, if Shakur hasn't fought anybody, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Oscar Valdez is a good fighter. Shakur beat him, right? William Zepeda was the undisputed. I can't find it, bro. Dang. William Zepeda was the undisputed mandatory, bro. That means he was ranked #1 in every single sanction and body. And a lot of people picked William Zepeda to beat Shakur. So how can you then turn around and say that Shakur hasn't fought anybody? Like saying Teofimo is the first real threat that he faced. Here it goes right here. So this guy has said that this guy said Teofimo Stevenson labels Lopez delusional, but Teofimo is the first real threat that he's faced. And I want to, this is still not what I wanted to show y'all, because I'm still trying to find it. And I'm going to find it. While y'all listen to Tank. Let me see if I can find it, bro. I'm going to find this joint. Because somebody said Shakur hasn't fought anybody. Okay, cool. Shakur hasn't fought anybody. Let me see. Oh, man, this is some bull jive. Okay, here it is right here. Here it is right here. I found it. Yeah, I told you. Just be patient with your boy. So this right here, this person, this author, this writer, you know, they say that Shakur hasn't fought anybody, right? And that's cool if you feel that way. But let me show you how contradictory they are. This man said Shakur hasn't fought anybody, right? But then he says Shakur could prove a lot if he were to turn over a new leaf and run this gauntlet to show he's not a fake, because he hasn't fought anybody to the point where they're saying that Shakur is a fake, right? Look who this person named. This person named that Shakur should fight Ernesto Mercado. Tito Mercado. Who has Tito? So I'm showing you this to tell you how full of crap people are. Right? You're telling me that you don't give him credit for Oscar Valdez. Cool. You don't give him credit for Jamel Herring. Cool. 2 former champions. You don't give him credit for an undefeated, undisputed, mandatory for all sanctioned bodies at IBF, WBO, WBC, and WBA, and William Zepeda. You don't give him credit for anybody, any of those guys. But you're saying you would give him credit for beating Tito Mercado? Who has Ernesto Mercado beat? What championship belt has Ernesto Mercado held? How is beating Ernesto Mercado gonna make you a legitimate champion and not a fake? So what I'm saying is that people just be, I didn't mean to play that again, my fault. What I'm saying is that people will just say anything when they don't like you. That is indicative and a testament to him really he's not gonna give Shakur credit for beating anybody. If Shakur beats Teofimo, he's gonna say that Teofimo was compromised. Just like my boy Jacoby said that if Tio is Tio, Tio is always Tio. So if Tio has a Tio night, whether he does or doesn't, it's not even Tio's fault. It's his opponent's fault. You know, it's so crazy that what do we always say, right? Oh, well, when Teofimo is on, nobody could beat him. Bitch, Teofimo is always on. It's just Teofimo lacks a game plan. Teofimo lacks adaptation. Teofimo lacks implementation. Teofimo lacks the ability to adjust. He never game plans. If Teofimo is too much for you, he's going to be too much for you. But if you have a game plan and force Teofimo to adjust, Teofimo's in trouble. That's why he struggled against Sandor Martin. It wasn't because, oh, Teofimo woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, where do we do this at? If somebody, no one's saying Brian Norman woke up on the wrong side of the bed when he lost to Devin Haney, but Teofimo looks bad against Sandor Martin. It's not because Sandor Martin took away Teofimo's best tools. It's not because Sandor Martin is a good fighter and a tough fight for anybody. It's because Teofimo wasn't Teofimo that night. Stop it, bro. No, Teofimo's always Teofimo. It's just if Teofimo's going to dominate you, like Lomachenko, he's going to dominate you because his style and his physical, his physique and his physicality might be too much. He might impose that on you. His athleticism is great. His twitch muscles is great. His reflexes are great. You see what I'm saying? His power is good. Right? So that might be too much. He is a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't game plan. So when people say, oh, it's because Teofimo's having a bad night, you can have a bad night one time against Kambosos, okay. But then why'd you have a bad night against Jermaine Ortiz? Because Jermaine Ortiz did something that you did not anticipate and you did not know how to adjust, right? Just like you didn't adjust. Well, you did adjust towards the end. You started coming alive against Kambosos, but I think that was more so about Kambosos not really being the best of adjuster himself. But okay, you want to say he didn't adjust against Kambosos, it was a bad night. Okay, so what happened with Jermaine Ortiz? Was that a bad night too? Okay, bet that's a bad night. 2 bad nights. Sandor Martin, that was a bad night too. Every night's a bad night. No, bro. It's just some people don't adjust. It is what it is. Is that his adaptability isn't strong, and that's why I think he's gonna struggle against Shakur. But as far as having all the raw tools, no, Teofimo is one of the most raw, talented fighters out there, in my personal opinion. He's definitely talented, but that's where it stops. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He doesn't. Maybe it's his trainers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could blame his trainers, his coaches, or whatever. But he doesn't implement a game plan. You feel me? That's just what it is. Shout out to Ty says, wait, what did Ty say? Oscar, shoot it. Oscar said, I seen the Kambosos beat Teofimo while Teofimo was being Teofimo. Exactly, Oscar, thank you. You know, but that's the thing, like, I'm not saying that you can't feel that way, but then extend the same courtesy to every fighter. Every time a fighter loses, don't throw them away. Like, don't say Brian Norman is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
If we're giving other fighters excuses for bad performances. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know, it's like Devin Haney. We tossed Devin Haney almost out of boxing. We almost tossed Devin Haney out of boxing like he was DJ Jazzy Jeff, and I was Uncle Phil. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Right? Philip Avery's the actor, right? I think that's his name. Yeah, Avery. But no one said, oh, Devin Haney had an excuse when Devin Haney literally had an excuse. He had multiple excuses. He fought a guy that was on PEDs in Ryan Garcia. He fought a guy that was overweight in Ryan Garcia. And he still got up every time and finished the fight, right? So if anybody had excuses, it would be Devin Haney. But people don't want to hear his excuses, which aren't even his excuses. It's the New York State Athletic Commission's excuses because Ryan Garcia violated the rules of boxing when he cheated.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Shout out to TSO Bodega Ty says suspect got more pending cases than I'm doing what he is crazy. But yeah, man. So like I said, I'm not mad at anybody picking Teofimo. I think Teofimo and Shakur is a good fight. That's why I'm excited for it. But I don't want to hear if Shakur wins, oh, it's because Teofimo didn't show up. It was a Teofimo bad night. No, we're not giving no excuses. And if Shakur loses, I don't want to hear nothing about his hands being brittle. Same way, you know, if Teofimo wins, may the best man win. He won because he was better, not because Shakur was compromised. And if Shakur wins, he won because he was better, not because Teofimo didn't wake up on the right side of the bed. Like, come on, what are we doing, man? We got to tighten up, man. We got to tighten up, man. Speaking of tighten up. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, man, I just think it's crazy, man. So I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff about boxing we can highlight. But some of the nonsense be crazy, man. But yeah, man, I am hoping that Gervonta comes back. I need my boy in the mix, man. I need my boy in the mix only if he's in the correct headspace, though, because we do talk about, like, sometimes I feel like we don't acknowledge people when they're open about their mental health, right? You know, for example, we saw, I don't know if y'all saw it, but God forgive me for laughing, but I shouldn't laugh. Because it's serious, bro. You know, I'm just goofy, man. I'm goofy. I like to laugh, right? But Jamal Charlo was just seen on Brian Custer's podcast, right? The Last Stand, I believe it's called, right? Shout out to him. And Jamal Charlo had a very candid interview. And during the interview, it was so candid that, you know, they went into mental health a little bit and how he was feeling and saying that he's still dealing with his mental health, right? Because Brian Custer was like, how'd you get over that? And he was like, oh, I'm getting over it. I'm not over it. And just to what up, Smoochie? I did say what's up to Smoochie. You tripping. I said what's up. Shout out to Smoochie. But my bad if I did. I said one time for the ladies. I did say I announced you what up, Smoochie, but if I did it, I'll say it again. But during the interview, Jamal Charlo's a little support animal came out. It was a little monkey. And I'm not laughing because I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's open with it, because I think that'll allow a lot of people to embrace things, situations that they're going through and not be embarrassed by. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I wasn't expecting it when the monkey came on the screen. I said, oh, hold on. Now, at first I thought it was a little cat, and I realized it was a little monkey. But anyway, you know, but my point in bringing that back to Gervonta is that, you know, sometimes people do go through mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? And Gervonta has been very open, saying that, hey man, I got to get my mental right, I got to go to therapy, but I want to wait till I'm done boxing because I don't want to take that fire out of me. So if he's checking out of boxing because of mental things, you know, he's just not in the right space. And hey man, as long as you have the finances together, man, I wish you the best, man. Don't come back to boxing. But if he can come back, hey, then come back, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd love to see him in the mix, but not at the expense of his well-being. Just like I wouldn't want to see Tyson Fury when he was going through his mental health and a substance abuse phase, right? You know, he was very open about that too. We wish him the best. So let's wish Jamal Charlo, Gervonta Tank Davis, let's wish them the best, man. You know, who else opened up recently? Somebody else opened up. I think Danny Garcia opened up about it. You know, let's wish them the best. But now sometimes, you know, mental health is tricky because sometimes people use it as an excuse to, I guess, to have a lack of accountability. But, you know, the mind is fragile, so that's not my place to judge. But if you are going through something, then, you know, get some help, and we shouldn't take that lightly. You feel me? Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my guy. He said, "Cool boy, Steph, 8-4 down the line, Hall of Famer. You got to win an 8-4 over Oshiki Foster. Ooh, that's a good one. Hall of Fame status, the greatest comebacks in recent history. Yeah, man. Shout out to Schoolboy Steph for turning that around, man. I agree with that, man. Be another division champion. That'd be crazy. You know, him losing to Naoya Inoue, which I don't think there's any shame in that. Naoya Inoue is one of the best fighters, so there's no shame in losing to that. Losing to him, but he did get smoked, you know, and for him to bounce back and acquire a belt at featherweight, shout out to him, man. And in fact, he's the only one to beat Angelo Leo, who's the IBF champion at featherweight. So shout out to him. Shout out to him. Let me give Jacoby some attention, because he desperately wants my attention. He wants to sweat off my ball sack. He said, "You want Gervonta in the right headspace while acting like you don't know the difference between an on and off TO." So you didn't hear anything I said. I said we're not giving anybody excuses. On and off TO, that means that he's not in the right headspace. You're admitting the fighter's headspace matters. Like I said, if TO is TO, he wins. And like I said, you're a dumbass. How about that? That's like I said. You want to you just compared somebody not adapting in a ring to somebody's mental health. You're an idiot. Yeah. Hold on. Let me let Oscar talk to you. And I don't mean Oscar Perez. I mean Oscar De La Hoya. Let me let Oscar talk to you real quick. This man just compared not adapting in the ring to somebody's mental health.
You dumbass.
You freaking idiot. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Let me give you the attention that you so desperately need. This man compared not adapting. I gave him multiple instances of not adapting in the ring. He compared somebody's tendencies in the ring to mental health. What? Entertain that, bro. You are your own with that one. Shout out to Smoochie. I knew he was coming. That was the first one I seen. I'm pretty sure you probably said a whole bunch of other dumb stuff in the chat too, but you know, they get ignored, man. KD called, Kendrick called, and Goofy Radar keep going off. Oh, I didn't even peep. I have not even been seeing this messages. Now, hey, I'm telling you, some people I miss messages accidentally, but there's some people that I miss intentionally. And his, I was just looking over his. God is good. You see what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't looking over his intentionally. It's just like some people, you know, it's just like they just get omitted by default. That's how he is. Like, I wasn't intentionally doing it, but I wasn't unintentional. It was just subconscious. You know, I was subconsciously doing it. You know, I just happened to see one because it was right under Oscar, my brother Oscar's super chat. That's the only reason why I seen that next one. That dude's an idiot. He's a goofy. I said I was just waiting patiently. Hey, man, people are crazy, man. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. It's like it's so funny. Like with boxing, it's like, I could go in on Tio chat. Did I say anything negative about Teofimo? I just said I'm gonna give Sandor Martin credit for fighting a good fight. I'm not gonna take away Sandor Martin's credit. I literally said that I even gave him, I said, bro, I don't even think George Kambosos is a bad loss because George Kambosos is a good fighter. But this guy wants me to be a groupie like him. Apparently he wants to be impregnated by Teofimo Lopez. You feel me? Because I didn't even say anything bad. I just said that may the best man win. If Teofimo beats Shakur, I don't want to hear about Shakur's brittle hands. This dummy doesn't even realize that he's the one that gave Shakur a preemptive excuse. He's the one that said Shakur can't win because of his brittle hands. So you don't even know. You're so much of a meat muncher that you don't even realize that you gave Shakur an excuse if he loses to Teofimo. I didn't. But because I said that Teofimo will not get an excuse if he loses to Shakur, that had your estrogen flare up. All I said is may the best man win. If Teofimo beats Shakur, I don't want to hear that Shakur lost because of his brittle hands. And if Shakur beats Teo, I don't want to hear it's because he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. AKA what you're calling mental health. You freaking dummy. So Teofimo has a bad fight is because it's mental health issues. Okay. So it's not because Sandor Martin's a good fighter. It's not because George Kambosos is a good fighter. It's not because Shakur is a good fighter. It's because Teofimo wasn't locked in. And he might not be locked in because you locked jawed on his nutsack. That's probably why. It's probably hard to be it's hard to be locked in when you got a meat muncher on your gosh dang nuts. When you got a meat muncher on your waistline, it's hard to be locked in. So I feel it. You freaking idiot. Dude's an idiot, bro. Like, you can't just enjoy boxing, bro. People want you to feel how they feel. I don't care that you like Teofimo, that you have Teofimo beat Shakur. That's okay, brother. That's cool. I don't. And I didn't even say, like, I even said there was like a 50-50 fight. We don't know who's going to win. That's why the fight is great. But you want me to say, oh, yeah, man, you're right. You convinced me Teofimo's going to win. Because if Teofimo shows up, he's going to win. Who else is going to show up? It's always Teofimo. You just make excuses for people that you're infatuated with. I can't relate to that groupie energy. You know what I'm talking about? We talk about boxing here. We don't talk fanboy, fangirl. I don't. You can. I don't. Well, my brother Oster in the building. He said, Doc and chat, what's good, everybody? What's good, my brother? Shout out to OGO in the building. He said, tell Sugar Tank about, hey, chill out. Tell that to the birds. Go through some mental health, then talk. People be using words in vain. I agree with that now. Today without going through it. But that's the thing. I can't, I agree with you. Like I said, that sometimes people use it as an excuse. We see that in society and stuff like that. But like I said, mental health is so fragile. I'm not going to be the one to diagnose it. You feel me? I'm not the one to tell somebody if they really going through some or they not. So I can't say if Gervonta is going through some, or Tyson Fury or Jamal Charlo or Danny Garcia or whoever else is going through. I got to believe him. I have no reason not to believe him. You see what I'm saying? And we have to emphasize too. Let me emphasize. I want to emphasize too. Experiences are different for people. You know what I'm saying? So I might go through something that's traumatic for me, and it might be a walk in the park for you. You see what I'm saying, Oster? So I don't even like to make those judgments like that. Now, if it's something that I could really point to and put my finger on and be like, yeah, you capping, you just, you know what I'm saying, you wilding, then okay. But, just because you rich doesn't mean you ain't got problems, man. Sometimes rich folks have more problems, but the benefit, I'm not saying don't be rich, because those are good. At least you got the money that you could probably solve them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing too. So, yeah. But yeah. Let me get the door for you, bro. Oh, he got tossed out? Yeah, man. We tossed everything on him but his salad. Pause.
What do you mean by that?
That man got tossed out. How you get tossed out of this chat, bro? If you get tossed out of this chat, bro, you deserve it. Yeah, get him out here, man. Let me take out the trash, man. Shout out to whoever took out the trash, man. I appreciate you, whoever got him up out of here, man. We like boxing talk, man. I don't mind the trolling too, but if you just here to contribute your nonsense because you like attention at home, then that's something you got to go through, And babysitters get paid a good amount of money. So if I don't mind babysitting, but tell your pop and your mama to come break me off. You know what I'm saying? We charge about an hour. You know what I'm saying? That's what she said. Whoa, tossing everything but it's salad.
No, did he?
Yo, also said more money, more problems. Yeah, money don't solve problems, but that's the cause of problems. Yeah, sometimes but money does solve problems. It's just a balance, man. It's like you gotta. I'm not trying to preach, but it's like money is a tool, man. Unfortunately, money is the root of all evil when it comes to an evil person. Money is also, money is no different than having a fork. When you're ready to eat and you eat some spaghetti, you need a fork. That's all. You can use your hands, but it's gonna get a little messy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need money, but then you have to go and do some other things to get them, to live by another means. You feel me? So it's just part of a barter system. We trade goods for money, before we trade good for services. So when you let money rule you and you do things because of money, and things that are to the detriment of your brethren and your fellow man and woman, then that's when it's bad. But money's just a tool, bro. Just like your cell phone's a tool, just like your car is a tool. Money ain't evil, man. Money is an inanimate object. It's just a lot of people are greedy and they're scum of the earth, and they think that having money makes them better than others. It's what you do with the money, man. There's a lot of good things that money could do. Could help a lot of people, you feel me? But anyway, let's keep it going, man. Shout out to Breakdown Analytics. He said, "Hi, Doc. Sorry for this random question." So, okay. But Prime Runner, yeah, you wildin'. yeah, you really wildin'. But I'm gonna entertain. He said, Ron Artest versus Draymond Green in the 5-round exhibition. Like a fight? I got Ron Artest on the court and off the court. And in fighting. I mean, granted, it was a young Draymond, but Draymond ain't want no smoke with Ron Artest. Shout Gold member said, "I'm back. I know y'all miss me. What up?" Shout out to TSO Bodega Ty said, "Check your DMs, yes sirski. I will most definitely do that." But yeah, man. So oh shoot, how I do that? Oh Lord, how do I? Oh shoot. I don't know how to do that, bro. Oh boy, character got the blicky. Hey, he an innocent bystander. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, man, 100% Ron. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, Oster. I got 100% Arizona Lara. But yeah, man. So what y'all think about that, man? What y'all think about Teofimo calling out Budrick, man? What you think about that? If Teofimo beat Shakur, would you like to see that fight, or would you like to see unifications? Like I said, for me, I prioritize unifications. I would prioritize unifications. I would like to see that, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at Teofimo calling out Bud if he beats, contingent on him beating Shakur. So we'll see. But yeah, man, I'm opening up the phone lines. Anybody wants to call in? Those are the topics that I had for today, this Monday. It was a little short one, you feel me? So yeah, the phone lines are now open. The phone lines are now open. Anybody want to call in? And while we getting people to call in, I want to talk about this too, man. Jenna Beck and Laura. I want to talk about Jenna Beck and Laura. Jenna Beck and Laura, I'm not gonna lie, man. Shout out to Fulton, and shout out to Fulton too. Shout out to Fulton and Foster. That's a great fight. I love that fight. You feel me? Shout out to Fulton and Foster. Shout out to Roach and Cruz. I love that fight as well. I think Mosley and who's Mosley on there? With Jesus Ramos, right? I like that fight as well. I love Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin is going to make a comeback. I think he will be champ again. I've always said that even when Gervonta knocked him out, I said I think he could bounce back. I'm looking forward to him versus Rancis Barthélemy. But for me, man, I think that Jenna Beck and Lunkanuli versus Arizlandi Lara for the middleweight dominance, you know what I'm saying, for unified 3 belts on the line. That fight I'm looking forward to the most. Of course, you have Arizlandi Lara, he's 42 years old, so that's the biggest I guess not a hindrance, you know what I'm saying? Cause shout out to him, and blessed to be 42 years old, but that is the biggest con, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest negative of him, is that he's 10 years, a decade, gosh dang, Jenna Beck's senior.
Damn.
Yeah, bro, 10 years.
I'm sorry.
He's 42, Jenna Beck is 32, so that is something that is in the youth factor is in Jenna Beck's favor. The experience factor is heavily in Laura's favor. I'm not sure about the power, man, because Laura's power been growing with him, bro. Like he's like on some Juan Manuel Marquez things. One of my favorite fighters again. As Juan Manuel Marquez got older, it seemed like he acquired more power, man. I don't know if he found a power stone or stole it from Thanos. I don't know what, but Arizlandi Lara's been quietly on a 4-fight KO streak. No, not KO, but, you know, a couple RTDs in there. He RTD'd, which is basically, technical stoppage decision by the ref with Danny Garcia. So we stopped him. Before that was Michael Zarafa in 2 rounds. And then two fights before that, he stopped him. I think Thomas Lamano was part of that 4-fight streak. So Erislandy Lara been dropping cats like flies. So he's been holding that power. So I'm not sure if Janibek has a bigger one-punch power, man. But I know I would lean towards Janibek being a little stronger, but it's not a wash like that. I don't see a lot of people giving the power department to Janibek, and I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I will say the youth, and which youth contributes a lot, right? Because obviously we would think that Janibek would be able to, because of his youth, he'll be able to have more endurance, more stamina. He'll be able to keep up a more intense pace, you know what I'm saying? Try to drown Erislandy Lara with his pace and his movement and stuff like that and his activity level. But it's not a guarantee because, you know, while one employs a Kazakh style because he's from Kazakhstan, Janibek Alimkhanuly, you know, the WBO IBF champion at 160 pounds, the Cuban, you know what I'm saying, that employs a Cuban style, Erislandy Lara, who's the WBA champion at 160 pounds, you know, he's slick too. You know, he's slick too. He hasn't been demonstrating his slickness in his most recent fights because he hasn't had to, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And not only that, though, outside of the youth being in Janibek's favor, what's not in his favor, like I said, is the experience. And I'm not just talking about from a quantity of fights. Yeah, Lara has a higher quantity of fights, but he also been in there with a higher caliber opponents. Like I said, Janibek Alimkhanuly's best win is who? Denzel Bentley or Stephen Butler, right? Or I don't know, Andre Mikhailovich. Lara has better losses than Janibek has wins. Because Lara lost 3 times, but all of them were by close decision, actual close decisions, not unanimous decisions that people say is close because the fight went the distance. No, literal close decisions. You know, Cinnamon's one of my favorite fighters, but I always say that I scored that fight for Lara. I thought Lara beat Canelo. However, on paper, he lost. I think that was a close fight. Could have went either way. I wasn't mad. I definitely wasn't mad that my boy Cinnamon won. You better believe that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be mad at that. But I thought, I scored it for Lara. But either way, that was a split decision loss. That's one loss. His other loss was a split decision loss to Jared Swift Hurd, who was undefeated at the time. And then his other loss was to one of my other favorite fighters, Paul the Punisher Williams. And that was by majority decision. So his 3 losses are all decisions. If Janibek has never even shared the ring with fighters of the caliber of those 3 guys. Not to mention some of Lara's wins, like Yuri Foreman, who's a former champion, like Austin No Doubt Trout. You see what I'm saying? Who only had 1 loss at the time. That was to Cinnamon. You feel me? He also had a draw with undefeated at the time Brian Castano, right? He also had a draw with the late boxer, the late contender, Ivanis Matarosa, who just passed away due to cancer. He had a draw with him when he was undefeated as well, I believe. You see what I'm saying? So Lara, not to mention he just beat a over the hill Danny Swift Garcia, but even the over the hill Danny Swift Garcia, he would be, if Janibek beat Danny Garcia right now, that would be his best win. That's how shallow and lacking his resume is. So when people count out Erislandy Lara, I think you're kind of crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I think you're kind of crazy for counting out Lara. I do think that Janibek is the one that we should favor because he is the one that's a unified champion. He has 2 belts, 2 of the 4 major belts. You know, the IBF by President Daryl Peoples and the WBO by President Gustavo Oliveira. But we can't overlook the fact that Erislandy Lara has a WBA by President Gilberto Mendoza, and Carlos Adames has a WBC by President Mauricio Solomon. So yeah, man, that's just it for me. I just wanted to talk about that, man. I'm kind of I'm reluctant to put my money on Lara. I'm rooting for Lara. I like Lara more, man. You know, I've been watching Lara more. I like Janibek too. I respect him, but I'm rooting for Lara. But if I had to put my money on it, you know, I compartmentalize, man. I could tell you who I'm rooting for. I could tell you who I think is going to win. I'm rooting for Lara, but I think the smart money would be on Janibek, even despite all the things I just laid out. I just laid that out for you not to forget. Lara been in there with some dogs. Speaking of dogs, Lara also beat Alfredo El Perro, which means the dog, Angulo. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of dogs, you know what I'm saying? Lara is definitely a live dog. And also too, man, before I bring up my brother Ty, he's in the call. Before I bring him up, I also want to say, if you rock with the breakdowns over here, the real gems are in the newsletter. Like I said, on Doc's Corner, you feel me? Go check it out. That drops bi-weekly. You know what I'm saying? Be there or be square. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m., I drop Doc's Corner, a new issue, you know? It's deeper boxing. You know, we talk about IQ. We talk about timing. We talk about strategy. We talk about footwork. We talk about traps. All the stuff that YouTube doesn't really allow me to dive into and elaborate on, because, you know, we like the more entertaining things, you know what I'm saying? But it just gives you stuff to think about, and we make it entertaining too. You know, my team, I'm always going to make it entertaining. So check it out, man. If you want to see how the sports, if you want to see the sport the way the fighters do and the way the trainers see it, hit the link right here and sign up for the Doc's Quarter, the weekly newsletter written by yours truly every week. And Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Issue 4 is dropping on Wednesday. And shout out to Smoochie. Smoochie says she really enjoyed the last issue, man. Big salute to Smoochie for holding it down. Yes, drop the comments and let me know. You could drop comments on the newsletter as well. But yeah, let me bring up my brother. Let me bring up my brother Ty. You know what I'm saying? Top Dog says Jedabek might lose on the... Come on now, Top Dog, because you really watch boxing. He said Jedabek might lose on the scales.
Yeah.
Not funny stuff. Passed out last fight trying to make weight.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it a step further, Top Dog. I know you're not being funny, but you should be funny because it is funny. And I say that not to be heartless, but we don't give nobody no free passes. Janabek didn't pass out because he had some type of illness that we didn't know about. Janabek didn't fall out because something came and that was unknown and unaccounted for and just knocked him over the head and made him pass out. No, he fainted because he was trying to make weight, like you said. So basically, Janabek is a weight bully. He was hospitalized because he was taking drastic measures to try to make weight against Andre Mikhailovich. So it wasn't the last fight, because his last fight was against Annual Namasenge. But his fight before that is when you're referencing that had to get rescheduled because of when it was originally scheduled initially, he was hospitalized due to passing out because those are the extreme measures that he was taking to weight cut for his fight at middleweight, where he's a 2-belt champion. No, that's on him. That's self-inflicted, bro. We don't feel bad for that, bro. If anything, we should be mad at that because he's a weight bully. That's what that means. That's all that means, bro. If you try to make weight to the point where you're passing out, bro, move up, bro. Go to 168, bro. Yeah. So I'm not saying you try to be funny. Of course, we don't want anybody to be hurt. We're not wishing for that. We wishing the best. We glad he's okay. But that is if that's not the epitome of a weight bully, then I don't know what is. You see what I'm saying? That is the actions of a weight bully. It's so funny that somebody who never missed weight, and I'm not, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Devin Haney. I like Devin Haney, you feel me? But I'm not like a super Devin Haney fan. I'm not saying that you can't call him a weight bully, but it's funny that we will call Devin Haney a weight bully. He never missed weight. Meanwhile, you have guys being hospitalized like Virgil Ortiz and Jedabek because they're so desperately trying to be a weight bully. Both those things are rhabdomyolysis by Virgil Ortiz. That was self-inflicted too. Why you think he never heard about rhabdomyolysis since he moved up to 154? Because he no longer has to strain himself to make weight. So we got to tell the whole story. Of course, we don't want anybody to get hurt, of course, but we also don't want anybody to weight bully anybody and be at a weight class, struggle so much to be so gung-ho about being a weight bully and having a physical advantage over your opponent that you are literally jeopardizing and compromising your health. That's on Janabek. That wasn't accidental. That was self-inflicted. It was just a side effect of his actions. Shout out to Oster. Lara beating Janabek, get unification to Crawford coming to get that. Hey, I like that. Shout out to my brother Ty in the building, man. Bodega Ty in the building. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you calling in, man. What's popping, man?
Not much. I see that T.O. and Shakur has been announced.
What you think, man? You think I'm tripping for still being skeptical or what?
This thing been legit. They just had to iron out some things. You know, T.O., he only want to accept fights when he knows he's a clear A-side or gets the A-side treatment.
Yep, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
He is a clear A-side, man, coming up to take your belt. I mean, he should be. I'm not mad at him being the A-side. I think he should be. But also
really
too. Say it again.
I was about to say the only thing Shakur could really say is I sold more than you.
Right.
On a basis.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I know it doesn't matter, but you know me, I'm kind of I don't want to say traditional, but I just keep it simple, man. Like, hey, you're moving up to fight to take his belts. I don't really look at the economics of it. Of course, the economics, like you said, Shakur definitely has an argument to be the A side, but I'm just saying, I'm just looking at it from the basic of you moving up to try to challenge me for my belts. I should be the A side. So that's why I feel like Shakur Foster should be the A side in that one too. Granted, I'm not saying he is or he's not, you know what I'm saying? But I think that every time somebody, if you're challenging for somebody's belts, like for example, I saw that a poster with David Benavidez being announced first saying it's him versus Ramirez. I feel like Ramirez should be the A side because you're moving up to challenge for his unified belt. So I just keep it simple like that. But you're absolutely right though. Like, you know, of course there's more to it than that. That's just a very simplistic way to look at it. That's just the way I look at it.
But it don't really get him too far because the instant rebuttal would be, well, your fighter only headlined in 2 locations, Newark and Atlanta.
Facts.
Where my client Teo has been a headline in 5 different cities, 3 different major markets.
New York, one of them. That's a fact. Yeah. So who you got in this fight, man? Who you taking?
I got Shakur by TKO.
What? TKO?
Yeah. It's not going to be like one of those Dave Benavidez. He was just punching and old boy might have slept in the corner.
I like it, bro. I like that. That's bold right there. That's a bold take right there. I like it, man. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. I like it.
I'm judging it based off of how Teo fights, how Shakur fights. I feel like Teo can get, Shakur can get off enough shots like how he did against Jamel Herring and cause that eye to open up. We've seen Teo in his last 3 fights straight.
Yep.
Even in his little 12-0 massacre of Barboza.
Yep.
Because he didn't ever get corrective surgery for the scar tissue over that eye of his.
Yep.
Anytime somebody hit it, it either swells up real bad or he gets a nice cut.
Yep. He what's the name? What's the name from Canada? My boy, man. He just fought, man. I can't think of his name right. Yeah, Steve Claggett. Thank you, Steve Claggett. Even Steve Claggett had them termite mounds on his eyes. And that's Steve Claggett. So yep, that's exactly Steve Claggett. So you right about that, bro. That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Shakur gonna tattoo that eye up, huh? Ooh.
Yeah. And I see Teo trying to come into this fight, taking a different approach than he has against everybody else at 40. He's gonna feel like he's the bigger guy and gonna try to bring the fight to Shakur. That ain't gonna work well.
And we talked about that too. We talked about that with him, you know, not having the ability to adapt or even trying to, and he's been talking on that's his main talking point. Oh, the power carries, you know, you coming up here, it's gonna be different. The power carries, I'm gonna show him. All right.
He hasn't shown power at 40 at all.
At all. Not a lick. Not a lick. So we'll see. I don't know why he was saying that, but that's one of his talking points. So we'll see. Like I said, I just want a good fight, bro. TKO would be crazy. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If Shakur stop this man, I don't care. TKO, KO, RTD, I don't care, bro. That'd be wild.
That got to me was Teo had the nerve to say that Shakur is slower than him.
Yeah.
That he's faster. And I feel like that's going to be the thing that bites him in the ass because I see the ref waving this thing off. Once that eye open up and Shakur is throwing them combinations like he normally do, I can see it being waved off.
Absolutely. Now, if Teo stops Shakur, ooh, which I don't see that happening at all, but hey, and hit him with the Fortnite dance. What'd you say?
I said, and then the Devin and Teo debate starts. Who is the best boxer out of their generation right now? Because those are the most accomplished guys.
Yeah,
within that age frame.
Yeah, that Shakur win would do a lot for Teo, but I would still lean towards Devin just because the real undisputed, you know what I'm saying, not no controversial undisputed, and then also he beat the guy that you lost to, you know, in Cambosa. So, but that'd be a good. They have to fight them, so that'd bring us closer to them fighting, hopefully. But I don't know if that ship has sailed. Him being at 147, but Teo talk about fighting Terrence Crawford. It shouldn't be theoretically, you know. But hey. I see you back there. Oh, you know, I just give people their solo time, man. You know, this man always think I forget about him.
Really wanted to smoke. He could go up and fight Devin at any moment. He felt like it,
right?
Because he has WBO status.
Exactly. Talk to him. Talk to him.
And it's not a
No.
matter, oh, who getting more money. It's either you gonna fight me or come up off that belt.
That's it. That's it. Fight me.
Pretty much.
Come up off that belt.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Tio getting beat worse than Zepeda. Zepeda at least got the endurance to take the punches. Tio, yeah, you touch him, he swells or bleeds. Yeah, y'all making good points, man. I can't see it, but hey, could be wrong. MAW in the building. Hey, Ty, you mind if I bring up Oster?
Oh my.
All right, bet. Let me get my brother Oster. Let him get his solo time. You know he about to take off with this TO thing. Shout out to my brother Oster in the building. What's good, my brother?
What's good?
Nothing much, man. Oh, you just let me know. I appreciate you. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you thought I forgot about you. My bad. I can't forget about my brother. No, sir. But sometimes no, let me know though, because sometimes I don't have the screen up. So you're right to let me know. I thought you thought I forgot about you. My bad.
Nah, I just jumped in. I just came in after Ty came up.
Yes, sir, man. So what's up with Tio, man? Tio calling out your boy, man. He calling out both your boys. He said he go walk through Shakur, and then he was Bud after. He said, man, once I get through the henchman, because if you beat Robin, Batman got to come see Botcha. You know what I'm saying? That just makes sense to me. So what you say about that, man? Hey, if he beat Shakur, hey, Bud got to come get some straightening, bro.
What makes sense to me? That's what you asking? What makes sense to the kid?
Yeah. Or however you want to approach it.
What makes sense to the kid is I'm thinking Tio done, got MK Ultra going out here. Cause the fight, I'm still worried about this fight. Tio's doing what Tio do. He's just talking. He just capping.
Facts.
He just, he got everybody's attention with the Shakur fight. So now he want to fight Bud after he beat Shakur and all that.
Right.
Tio, slow down, calm down, Tio, calm down, just calm down. You got to fight Shakur first, because this is still. Y'all could sign a contract, because you know how I feel, Doc. You might pull an injury a week before the fight, Tio.
Come on now.
For real. I don't have no confidence in you until you get inside the ring.
Come on now.
You might try to trip on a walk down there. So you got to get in the ring, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, man. Because what you talk about with Bud and all that, you're not getting past your course. So Tio just trying to get a fight. He just trying to make everybody come.
I agree.
Tell
with
him
that.
Bud gonna come anyway, though. Bud coming anyway, so you ain't got to talk. Bud coming anyway.
I agree with that.
You talking about you gonna beat Shakur, and then go beat Bud. Okay, who you gonna fight? Clarissa next? What's wrong with you, Leo? Shut up. You gonna call Clarissa out next? Shut up, man.
I had to hear my boy Oster's opinion on this, man. I knew that old pie was gonna go crazy, bro. Yeah, that's a fact though. Now, I agree with you though. I think he's just, like I said, me. Teofimo, I believe it when they're both in the ring and that first round bell goes ding, man. I'm not giving him no benefit of the doubt till I see it, but I do love this fight though, so hopefully it does go down. Shout out to MAW. What's good, brother? He said, smash that like. Yes, sir. Tell him again. Shout out to Oscar. He said, hell nah. He said, hell nah, Batman. Let Robin die. Robin came back as an assassin. Oh, yeah. He came back as, what was it, the Red Wing or whatever it was? Shout out to Robin, man. Or what it was. Something like that. Nightwing. My bad. Nightwing or something like that.
Tio know he not gonna win this fight, so he trying to get everybody to look at it like he gonna fight Bud. He gonna get a nice payday and get his ass kicked.
Okay, let me ask you this though. You were convinced that Haney would beat Norman, right? You knew that.
Yeah.
Do you think who has a better chance to win? Norman against Haney or Tio against Shakur? In your opinion, to you.
Man, that's a good question. I would have to go with I have to go with Tio.
You think Tio has a better chance to beat Shakur than Norman had to beat Haney? Okay.
Yeah, I'd be hating on Tio if I don't say Tio.
Okay.
I know that Norman is going to beat Haney. Haney will
go beat Norman. I got you.
Norman. Norman with these three names you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Norman ain't even in that kind of area with these three names. You know what I mean? So he's definitely the weakest link. And those four names you said, he's definitely the weakest link. I'm talking about from resume, performance, everything around the book. To me,
you said his levels.
Huh?
You said his levels to this shit.
No, I'm saying he's the weakest link out of those four names that we just said. He's definitely the weakest link.
Confirming that it's levels to this shit. Devin told y'all.
It's levels to this.
Trying to tell you, Meek Mills told us really, but nobody listened to that a couple of years ago.
Mm.
They act like that wasn't real. He said that there's levels to this, homie.
Mm-hmm. Meek Mill. Yep. Nah, man. I'm glad you said that because I think Teofimo has a good chance to beat Shakur. Like I said, I'm going with Shakur, but I think it's a good fight, man. I think it's a good fight, bro. I don't really have nothing to outside of me not being 1,000% convinced that it's actually going to come into fruition and actually go down. You know. But that's just me being weary with Teofimo, you know what I'm saying? Because every time he's supposed to fight somebody that's a big name or a high caliber opponent, he finds something to not have it, you know, so some reason to not have it. So that's why I'm skeptical. But I think it's actually a good fight. I think it's a very good fight, to be honest.
You know what? This is like a I look at it as athleticism versus skill. This is what we're about to see. We're about to see true athleticism versus true skills. That's what I believe how this fight is going to break out, because Teo is more athletic than he has skills, and Shakur is more skillful than he's athletic. We're going to see this. That's what's going to make this a real good fight. It's going to be a good fight, and any one of them slip, I don't know. But, you know, if that athleticism get around Shakur, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's why I say in the ring. But when Teo get in that ring, we're going to see what's up. Because I always say, if there's anything versus skills, I'm going with the skills. Period. I'm going with the skills.
Yep.
You can fly around this ring and do all that athletic. The skill one gonna win.
MAW says 100 to the caller. Yeah, it's Ulster, man. He cooking right now. Shout out to MAW. He said he agree with you 100%. He said I got the better boxer, Shakur winning, but fight could be competitive. Two great counter punches. Come on now, fight for ground. Who will hold? Who will fold? I like that. Preparation, game plans, and adjustments will matter. Yep. Shoot, chime in, Ty. We just chopping it up now. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. I saw that post that you put in the I'm just looking at seeing the recommendation. Funny.
Will this end up being a masterclass? Because when's the last time we've actually seen Teo fight somebody with the same level of athleticism, and then you pair up the fact that this is somebody that's comparable in size to him?
Ooh, yep.
Because before it was only Loma, but Loma, quote unquote, was too small.
Yep.
I mean, he got 65-inch arms, well, 65 wingspan. So for a dude that's 5'7", he got short arms.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And we seen what he did to Teo when he got to turn it up in certain spots of the fight.
That's why Ty, I say Shakur, because Teo, I don't think Shakur got to do too much changing. You get what I'm saying? I just don't think he got to do. I mean, he got to do some because, you know, Teo fight and move around, but I don't think he got to do too much adjustments when it comes to Teo. Teo got to do a little more adjustments fighting Shakur, because he got to get in first. He got to try to get in range, and that's going to be his Achilles heel. He's going to take some stabs and some forks. He can come in here, but he's going to definitely take some stuff coming through this door. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and I see it. I think Oscar mentioned it. I could see it like Teo trying to get in and just getting, like you said, just peppered while he, you know what I'm saying, he just can't. I feel like more, I'm hoping more intriguing and less movement than this. I'm not saying Shakur gonna fight like William Skull, but I feel like it's gonna be similar to like when remember how like when Canelo got Skull like against the ropes or against the turnbuckle, he didn't really rush in like we thought he would. I think I think Teofimo is gonna potentially get Shakur where he wants, because I think Shakur is not really gonna worry about going to the places that Teo wants to lead him, you know. And but he's not gonna be able to get in without getting in pieced up, you know. That's how I see it. But
what style? I say, what style you think? My style, if I think the best style Teo may have to actually win the fight, I think you have to press him. I think you have to like really, like Cepeda was pressing him.
yeah,
But Teo is he's a little better than Cepeda. So if he was to press him like that, then we'd see. Then we gonna see. I think that's when we'll see Shakur like gotta dig deep.
I think he's better than Cepeda, but is he as active as Cepeda? I think Cepeda's volume is what, that's almost unmatched. I would say it is unmatched.
Yeah.
Tio ain't coming with it like that. So I don't even know if he throws just from a sheer volume and activity. He's not really active like that. And to your point too, I think, I don't know if you said it or Ty said it, but yeah, Shakur is as big as Tio, right? But has Tio fought anybody like? He doesn't really fight the most athletic. Correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't really fight the most athletic people either. I'm not saying that Shakur is some superb athlete, huh?
Flat-footed sluggers.
Right, exactly, like a Barbosa type stuff. I'm not taking away from Tio, but on the flip side as well, I would say that Teofimo is probably the most athletic person that Shakur has fought as well. But I just think Shakur is more equipped to handle what Tio has.
That's a skill effect. That's a skill effect.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a skill effect. That's why I say I think that Tio will have to Tio will have to do a lot of adjustments. You have to keep him. He can't lose no adjustment in no round. He's fighting Shakur, you know what I mean? So he can't lose no adjustment.
And that's the thing that worries me because, we might see Tio do a lot, but we don't see him adjust. I don't see him adjust.
He gonna get dinged up. I'm telling you, he gonna
fade apart.
Yeah, please. Hell yeah.
Hey, Oster, yeah. Tio's the overall better fighter than Cepeda, but as far as approach and cutting off the ring, that's not something that's in Tio's repertoire. Tio's very athletic, but he has bad work.
It kind of skipped out. You say he's athletic, but yeah, it skipped out. What'd you say?
Tio is very athletic, but he doesn't have good footwork.
Oh, okay.
That might sound crazy to some people because they see how he moves around the ring and do that herky-jerky stuff, dancing. Right. That does not equate to effective or educated feet.
Right.
Cepeda actually has that. He might not have the quickest feet.
Right.
But he does possess educated feet.
I agree with that.
Paired up with his volume is how he corners people.
Right.
Tio doesn't have that in his repertoire. He doesn't.
Right. I mean, and to add to that too is like Beterbiev, right? Beterbiev is another one who has educated feet as well. That's why he cuts the ring off so effectively against anybody he fights. He's not running around and demonstrating his supreme athleticism. It's just that he has educated feet and Bud as well. Bud as well has so even Spence. You know what I'm saying? When he was cutting people off, So yeah, I agree with that. He knows when to plant, when not to plant, when to take a half step, when to circle to his right, to his left, push you. You got to know. It's not just about movement; it's knowing when to move. And like I said, like I said, Teofimo is very athletic too, and he does pose threats that we aren't accustomed to seeing Shakur handle yet, or face yet, really. So. This is what great fighters do. You know what I'm saying? They're both great fighters. No matter who you're going with, both great fighters. They're gonna pose threats. They're gonna hopefully put each other in positions that we haven't seen them in yet, and see how I think someone said MAW said who will fold and who will hold and who will fold.
Trying to tell you, that's what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But with all that said, now digging a little deeper into the situation. Tio about to get his ass kicked. I mean, I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, man, talking to you. I'm like, okay, he really about to get done.
He about to get cooked. He about to get skewered, boy. He got to get shish kebab. Shish kebab.
And not for nothing, I believe that, since they started that Tom and Jerry stuff and all that, I believe that all the Tom and Jerry fighters they've been talking about, they've been fighting right now. So I'm looking for this to be a fight because Shakur just fought Cepeda. So he told him like shit is different. Y'all keep talking, it's different, man. And Tio, you're gonna come in here with that. You're gonna see you the type of dude that get stopped, Tio. See, Cepeda is like you said, a little smart. He knows what's up. You see what they was telling him in the corner. Right. Tio, you're gonna think that you can do something and you're gonna get hurt. You think it's a game. Why? Yeah.
I like that point that you make too, because like with the Tom and Jerry, that's why I don't like it, because I'm not saying that. Of course, pay-per-view. Go ahead, Ty.
I said I'm outright refuting it.
Yeah.
wants to push the Tom and Jerry narrative, I dare them to cut the tape on. The people that they name, you can only literally find one fight per se.
Right.
Outside of that, show me a guy running in that ring. And I'll show you educated footwork, somebody step into somebody.
Right. Like that's why I don't like it too. And then even like I get some fighters are more entertaining. I know if it's pay-per-view you want to be entertained, but at the same time too, I'm not for compromising the fighter, man. They shouldn't even have that in their mind. You know what I'm saying? But I mean that comes with mental fortitude and stuff too. But even forget all that. Like Ty just said. I mean, bro, if you want to say every round of Devin Haney versus Brian Norman wasn't exciting, whatever, bro. You want to like break it down round by round, that's cool, but it's not cool because Devin Haney dropped him, bro. You don't drop somebody running away, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, dog. It's just like, bro, I just prefer people. You know, I like Eddie Hearn, man. I rock with Eddie Hearn, but I feel like he attacking Devin Haney, he being dirty, because I feel like you can't be the same person that told me that Devin Haney may be the best pound for pound fighter when you work with him, and then now all of a sudden you don't think anybody would want to see him. He's not a draw anywhere outside of Riyadh. It's like, come on, Eddie. Like you just don't like him, bro, and that's cool. But to try to like just don't work with him, don't sign him, but don't make it seem like the dude ain't valuable, bro. I feel like that's now you digging in somebody's livelihood. I feel like that's weak. I like Eddie too, but that's weak.
But Doc, you know what it is though?
What's that?
Eddie is not. I don't think it's that way. Eddie, I told you Eddie was a piece of shit. Eddie, he been a piece of shit. It's all good though. He's a promoter. I don't know no promoter that's not a piece of shit, to be honest with you. But when it come to Eddie with them, he like Dev. They mad because this is only thing they mad with Dev, especially the promoter. Most definitely the promoter, because Dev do his own thing. So he gonna always talk bad about Dev. He always, and then Dev beating his fighters, and he ain't gonna never say nothing good. I'm telling you, he ain't getting no money from it. He ain't gonna never say nothing good. I just let Eddie Hearn go ahead when he talk about Dev. I let him go ahead about his business. Whenever they start talking about everybody with the zeros, it's nothing but hate.
Talk to him.
It's just nothing but hate. Y'all done do 9 fighters at them and all of them lost. This is nothing but hate. That's all that is just hate talk, man.
Yep. And then in addition to that too, now I'm gonna go at it from the other side. What's the name? Devin Haney. I feel like he's taking the criticism from what's his name? Gosh dang, I just lost my train of thought. Go ahead, bro. My fault. Oh, Sean Porter. Sean Porter. I feel like he's taking that too far, man. Like, bro, yeah, I don't think Sean Porter is like I said, I mean, I don't know their personal relationship. I mean, obviously they have one, so I'm not gonna speak on that per se, but I don't feel like Sean.
Been static ever since he got pieced up by a 16-year-old.
Yeah, when he was a
Mayweathers.
Yeah, facts. When he was a but come on, bro. Like Sean Porter don't even be coming at. Well, like I said, I from what I see, from what I see in the interviews I see, he don't even be coming at him crazy. Like Eddie Hearn be coming at him crazy. I get the Eddie Hearn smoke, but the Sean Porter one, like you said, Ty, I know that from when there was just. And you said 60. I thought he was 14 when he beat them up or something like that. But yeah, 16. Okay, 16. Yeah, when I heard about that, I know about that, but I didn't feel like what Sean Porter saying too bad in my personal opinion. But I don't know.
But yo, Ty, I think.
Let me let Kendrick get his
what up, Ken? I didn't know he was in here.
Kendrick in the building. What's good, my brother?
Help! I've been shot.
Oh Lord. My bad, bro. I don't know how to undo it. Like I know on Twitch you can undo it. I don't know. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I pushed remove, and hopefully it didn't remove you from the chat because it didn't tell me what it removed you from. It just said remove, and I clicked on it.
That removes a message, I think. But
well, no, I clicked on the one. When I clicked on you, I clicked on a message that was already removed. And it still said remove, so but yeah, it might move the message though. I don't know. But you back now or not?
Nah. I'm clipped for the day.
Oh Lord.
But I'm in the ICU right now. But
that's crazy.
I heard y'all talking about Sean Porter, and I'm gonna preface this with this. I had a lot of respect for Sean Porter. I thought he was good, I like his podcast. I listened to his podcast and all that.
Porter Way.
Sean Porter is a bona fide clown right now.
Oh,
bona fide clown.
The Margarito thing or something else?
Nah.
Okay, go ahead.
the Haney thing.
Oh, the Haney stuff. Okay,
because the thing is with him is I listen very attentively and closely when people talk, and he specifically said that Devin Haney, and I quote, Devin Haney is gonna find his way to get out of this fight.
Oh, he did say that. Because I remember I said that too. I forgot about that. I'm so glad you reminded me. I forgot about it. No, I forgot about that. Because I remember I said that too. I mean, I said that way before he did. I said, man, I don't believe this fight. I said, if it does happen somehow, I said that. But I did say, I don't think that Devin is necessarily ducking, which I think he said too, though, to be honest. But I said, I don't think that Devin Haney's necessarily ducking.
He didn't say that.
I just think so. Oh, he didn't say that?
He just said what he said.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I remember I said, I'm not saying that Devin Haney's ducking or Brian Norman's ducking. I just said, for some reason, I just don't think this fight's going to come into fruition.
He implied that Devin Haney was going to duck the situation. That Devin Haney was just doing it for promotion.
That's true. I do remember that.
Devin doing that. So, and then when the thing happened with the Vada situation, he doubled down on it.
Wait, Sean
like,
Porter?
See, this is what I was talking about. Yes. He was like, see, this is what I was talking about. Bill trying to find a way out.
Oh, so you talking about, okay, so the Vada that you talking about when they were trying to get him to test it, he was out of country. Brian Norman was out of country or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that he got egg on his face, he want to double back and say, "Oh, I never said that. That's not what I meant by that."
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember him saying that.
Even with the snack stuff, as if he wasn't one of the first snack fighters.
That was another thing. He talked about Victor Conti and all this other stuff, and Bill got on Sean Zytel ass. I don't know if you've seen that video.
I didn't see that.
Oh, he roasted the shit out of him and Radio Raheem, but specifically Sean Zytel. And you'd have enjoyed it.
Hey, put it in the recommendations if you have it, please. I don't know how I missed that one.
I got you. I'll find it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
He essentially said, he was like, "Oh, let me ask you, what substance did kind of Ben or kind of when test positive?" Right? And Sean Zytel was like, I'm not sure. I don't remember. He said, "Oh, so you're not sure about the one who tested positive, but you want to put all these accusations on somebody who ain't never tested positive a day in his life, never missed weight, all this other stuff."
I love that.
See, y'all focus on the wrong stuff.
Right.
And he's like, you focus on trying to protect everybody else who's actually cheating, but you want to put the cheating accusations on the people who's not even cheating instead of actually going after people who's cheating.
Come on now.
And Sean was just stuck. He was just stuck. He couldn't say shit.
Yeah, you can't say nothing. That's something I say all the time. It's like, bro, like we have more static and more smoke for the people that could be cheating on snack, but it's not even the people. It's just two. It's just Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney. It's not even like the whole snack roster. It's just those two. But the people who actually test positive, we don't say nothing. Like, it's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
It's crazy. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's wild. Shout out to Bill Haney for doing that, bro.
Yeah, Bill Haney stood on business with that one. But now Sean Porter, he's talking about, "Oh, I'm just going back to 50-50 fights. I'm not calling fights anymore." He's trying to make it seem like people mad at him because he called the fight wrong. No. People mad at you because you're not trying to admit that you called the fight wrong.
Right.
Because when he first got on there with Shushu and them, he was like, "Oh, I never said that Norman was gonna win. I gave just both ways, both fighters could win, you know what I mean? And I was right." No, you weren't, nigga. You said Norman. You called Norman, bro.
I don't like that, bro. Like, even when I say like a fight's 50-50 and like it's one thing, like this is what I think people do. Like they'll say, okay, the path to victory. There's always going to be a path to victory. So I like to explain how I can see somebody winning, but I'm still going to stand on who I picked. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, "Oh yeah, Devin Haney. I said, oh yeah, this is what I said. I knew Devin Haney was going to win." No, I thought Brian Norman was going to win, but I knew that the path to victory, because we watched boxing, how Devin Haney would execute it. I didn't think he was going to drop him. He did even better. But it's like, I don't like that, man. I don't like when they try to make it seem like, "Oh yeah, well this could happen," and so they can say, "Oh yeah, I told you this was going to happen." Come on, bro.
Nah, I like it when they do it.
Why
I like
you
it when they do it, Doc.
Why you like it?
Huh?
Why you like it?
Because it lets you know that they don't know shit about boxing.
True.
So I love it. I like it. I love when they cap.
True.
That make me. I'm like, okay, cool. I love it when they talk that nut shit. I be telling people, y'all do know you be talking on the internet, right? You do know people got recordings and things. I mean, maybe y'all don't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but
People be forgetting.
it is what it is. I love when they do that. That's why I say you make them look stupid. Like, okay, you ain't say that.
Right.
You ain't say this.
Right.
You know, the police say, yo, you wasn't over here with him.
Right.
So this ain't you. Oh, this ain't you the other
this
day.
Ain't you with the tank top with the black hat and the Air Force
That
Ones?
ain't
That
you
ain't
right
you? That ain't your dog.
You still got the Air Force Ones on right now, though.
You feel me?
I will put your Air Force Ones on.
You feel me? That's crazy, man. MAW says fighters always got to do what they do best to get the W regardless. He's a promoter that only promotes his own fighters. Yeah, and Dev is at Eddie's. That's true. But talking ill of Dev only makes you look silly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to like him. You ain't got to like him. But to make it seem like he ain't doing nothing and always so, it's like, bro, like Conor Ben, Jack Catterall wants to fight Devin, which I think will be ill-advised. But, you know, that's a match true fighter. He wants to fight him as one of your fighters. He wants to fight Devin, so he thinks it's worth it. Conor Ben doesn't think it's worth it because Conor Ben, he's never been a title holder. So why are we making it seem like anything that Conor Ben wants to do is a gold standard? It doesn't matter what Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia want to do, whether they want to fight Devin Haney or not, because they're not guys that have ever been a champion. So Conor Ben not pursuing Devin Haney is not anything that's shady, or it's not any shade towards Devin Haney. To me, it's just shade on him, because it shows you that he doesn't want to be in a fight against real fighters, or you know what I'm saying, or a real legitimate fight in you know what I'm saying, in a traditional copacetic, gosh dang solid scenario where it's even playing field. You want to be in a fight with Chris Eubank, who's, you know, compromised, or you're both compromised, right? He was moving up to and Chris Eubank was moving down, but you've never been a title holder. So, you know, who have you really fought if you're Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia? Like Ryan Garcia, we know Ryan Garcia fought Rolly, but he lost, fought Tank and he lost, and he fought Devin and he cheated. And it's a no contest. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So his best win is Luke Campbell, maybe Oscar Duarte, Javier Fortuna, or something like that. But even those are catch weights. And then Conor Ben, who's his best win besides Chris Eubank? That's not even in your home division. Who's his best win? I don't know.
Doc,
yes, sir.
Doc, I'm gonna put this out there. Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben aren't even in the same category, because Ryan Garcia at least has a poo putt belt. Conor Ben has never even had a British belt.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He ain't even recognized in the Commonwealth, man. We don't know this dude.
He ain't got no straps.
He got no straps.
He got little baby Ben Whitaker already got his poo putt belt.
Right.
Conor Ben never even got that.
Right. Exactly. This man a whole nepotism, man. The whole nepotism, nepo baby out here. What's up, Oster?
I said I think another thing is that Conor Ben, and I know it's about the belts, but I don't think he want to fight nobody with skills.
Facts. And that's why you talking about Devin. That's exactly what it is. You hit that right on the money. Try to make it seem like, I've always wanted the WBC belt, the green belt. Nah, you just want it because Mario Barrios got it. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real, bro. If Devin Haney had the green belt, you wouldn't want the WBC belt, bro. Stop it. Bro.
Yeah.
Let's be real, bro.
That's why I love it. I love it because y'all be having so much energy for something else. And whenever y'all talk that detour talk, we talk about boxers here, y'all. Y'all supposed to be like, man, I want the smoke. If you got a belt, now you fucking right. Let's go. Right. You got a belt. You talking about fighting me, and you talking about fighting me, and you got a belt. Oh, let's go. And I ain't got one. Oh, right. You fucking right. What you think I'm in this for? What we got the guns for, Doc? What we got all these guns for? Huh?
You feel me? I'm finna let something off. But yeah, man, that's true. I'm finna slide though, fellas, man. I'm gonna get me some food, man. I actually left a little park a little later than I thought, man. I wanted to get some food before I got on. Your boy hungry, man. Hell yeah, your boy hungry, man. What y'all ate though?
Hey, Shakur and Nahn.
Shakur and Nahn? Ooh, you gotta stop his too. Y'all wilder with it. Shout out to Kendrick, shout out to Ty, shout out to, so what you got? You got to stop his too?
Yeah, I see.
Lord.
I'm trolling.
Oh, you trolling. Okay.
But Shakur knocking him down though.
Knocking him down?
Yeah, he gonna get a knockdown.
I can see that. I can see that.
And then he gonna get humbled.
I put it this way. I see this as a Sean Porter and Buzz situation.
Okay.
Chio ain't gonna do it. Pop's gonna throw Pop's gonna throw that flag in. Because Shakur gonna hurt him. Pop's gonna throw the flag in. He'll gonna want to fight, but Pop's gonna see from the distance, he'll be like, oh no. We need you for some more fights,
no. Not my son. Not my son. That's my son, man. That's my junior, man.
That's what I think. I think Pop's gonna throw the I think Pop, I don't know what round, but that that towel coming in that ring.
Mm.
And not on no tank move neither. It's coming in the ring, from the aerial position. From the aerial position, you know what I mean? Whoop. Oh shit, what's that? Fight over. Yeah. Get my son out of there, man.
Get him out of there, man. I don't know, man. I think it's a close fight, but I'm leaning towards I'm not just leaning. I'm heavily leaning on Shakur. I'm thinking UD 8-4. Something like that.
He gonna walk right into Shakur playing. Watch.
I can see him dropping. Yeah. James says Teo's top 10 if he beats Shakur. I agree. If Shakur beats Teo, he's top 10 as well. I think the winner of this is top 10. I do, James. I think that I agree with that. May the best man win. Shout out to Sir, big member in the building.
This is a setup, Doc. Shakur coming up, and Teo gonna think that he can just walk him down. Watch this.
So who is this a bigger fight for? And I'm gonna slide on this. Make this y'all closing statement. Go ahead. Oh, so who's this a bigger fight for?
I say Shakur.
Why?
Because for Teo's resume and his accomplishments, you know, and the fact that Shakur should have been in that 4 Little King thing to me. You know what I mean? To me, I don't know which one should have been out of it, but Shakur should have been in it.
You know who should have been Ryan. That's the one. I don't even know why people put him in there. I agree. It should be Shakur, Tank, Teo, and Devin. That's the 4 to me. I don't even know why
people was still at 126. That's why he wasn't included.
Yeah, true. Yeah. At first, yeah.
And I think Shakur need the victory over Teo more than Teo need the victory over Shakur.
I agree with that.
That's just me. You know what I mean? So I think that it's a bigger fight for Shakur to beat Teo, because Teo is, you know, he's one of the 4. So beating Teo is not like beating Tank, but it's like, okay, you next.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that it's like that. It's a little message like that. You know what I mean? So I don't think if Teo beat Shakur, I don't think it's a Tank you next thing. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that. But I think on Shakur's side, because, you know, he coming from 135 up, so if Tank show back up, you get what I'm saying? There's more a little friction over there, if you ask me. I think the people would just look at Shakur different if he beat Teo, opposed to fighting other people. I would love to see that. I would love to see what they would say about Shakur next fight if he beats Teo.
Yeah.
The pream, you know, I would love to see how the pream go before the fight. I would love to see how people would, you know, if they would go with Shakur or if they still would, you know what I mean, go against him.
Shout out to my brother George, man. Good afternoon, or good evening. Shout out to you, man. George, the last dragon born with that bread, that cheese, that butter.
I don't hear nothing, Doc.
I ain't gonna hear it in the Discord.
Oh yeah, I got it pause. My bad. Yeah.
No, you good. Shout out to George, man. Appreciate that, bro. George said, good evening, man. Good evening, my brother. Stevenson is going to take the mantle with this fight. Hey, yeah, I think Shakur. That's a good fight, though, like I say, but we'll see, man. Hey, but go ahead, Kendrick. Who is it a bigger fight for and why?
It's a bigger fight for Shakur, specifically because what it does is it solidifies and backs up his statement of I'm with all the smoke. I'm trying to fight anybody who's at the top. And then it makes him look way, way, way better. When we talking about him versus Tank and how that didn't come to fruition, because it shows that the core is actually trying to fight his contemporaries, regardless of the situation, and he's taking it in a situation where he's technically at the disadvantage.
Yep, he's moving up.
Yeah.
Anybody don't think he's at a disadvantage? I think that's a lie. Are they hating?
Yeah, if he wins this, then I mean, that puts the pressure on Tank to make something happen.
I agree with that, man. Shout out to Ty, man. What say you, my brother?
This is a great question. And for the most part, I'm going to say Shakur.
Yeah.
Because this is a real legacy-defining fight for him. This is what's going to get him on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. With a win, though.
Yeah.
If he lose, then everything they said about him becomes true.
Yes.
On the other side for Tio, being as though with all the accolades and the resume that he already has cemented, win or lose, Tio's going to the Hall of Fame whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I think Tio's already yeah. Think Hall of Famer? Josh Taylor and Loma? Okay.
Two-way
If y'all put Loma in,
lineal champion.
That's true. You put it.
Yo,
Man.
Loma should go to the Hall of Famer. He shouldn't be a
crazy.
Hall of Famer.
He beat
Facts.
Nomaschenko.
Yeah, he did. He upset too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like it was like, oh yeah, this is a 50-50 fight. No. He was the underdog.
So you saying, so Ty, you saying before he fights Shakur, he's a Hall of Famer already now?
He's
Or after
already
the
a
fight?
first ballot Hall of Famer. When you look at who's on the committee for, like Sean Zattel, you look at the list of accolades. No knock to Sean Zattel.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
because
you just
I
said,
like how he moves with it.
I like Sean
his
Zattel
logic.
too. I like him too.
I mean, I wouldn't be
He just
surprised
hang with too many
because
goofies.
I wouldn't be surprised
I
because
don't know, man.
everything
You think
in
first
both
ballot
sports,
though?
I
Tio's
know
a
it's
first
kind
ballot
of
Hall of
tough.
Famer.
But Doc, I wouldn't be surprised because all the sports and all the accolades and all that stuff, all the accolades is pushed up and the titles is pushed down to get these titles. You know what I mean? So it's I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put it.
But even if he loses, that's all. I don't know. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say.
I'm on your head top, Doc, because didn't you say Loma was a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
No,
I'm talking to Doc.
Yeah, I say he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
All right, so Tio by default then gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Now, hey Doc, I gotta go with Ty with that one. I gotta go with Ty with that one.
No, I'm not saying he won't make it. I'm just wondering if he would be like. I mean, yeah.
He got more accolades.
Yeah.
Nah, Tio first ballot. Tio first ballot.
The only thing we can say about him is we don't like him as a person. But when you base it off of his boxing acumen, the dude is a certified first ballot future Hall of Famer.
He beat an undisputed fighter. He beat, you know what I mean?
Josh Taylor. Yep. He beat Loma. Yep.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm agreeing to it. If Loma is a Hall of Famer, then Tio is a first ballot. I'm with him all day long.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just that's
only if Loma is in there. Only if Loma is in there.
Yeah, Loma in there. Loma in there. Yeah, I mean, Loma got some. You know, he got Gary Russell. He got Nicholas.
Loma don't belong in no damn Hall of Fame, and he lost to everybody.
Got Guillermo Rigondeaux. Nah, he in there. I mean, I'm with you though. You know, I don't think it's. I don't think it's as bona fide. Say it again, Ty.
Loma's accolades is what justify him being in there.
Yeah, and the many divisions.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it should be as default as people make it seem. I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, it's as bona fide as people make it seem. But I think he is.
No way.
18-3 is still that's a hard pill to swallow. I'll tell you that. Yeah, 18-3 is crazy.
Loma, listen, when I tell you
held a ring belt,
a title fight at 12. But listen,
he held. Yeah, he had some accolades, man.
He was gifted a ring belt.
So do we understand? Do we understand now?
He fought the man. He fought Linares and got that shit up off him.
I forgot about Jorge Linares as well.
Okay, what I'm saying is this.
I like Jorge Linares.
Do you understand? Do we understand what a manufactured boxer is now? We get that now, right?
That's crazy.
We get that, right?
That's crazy.
I'm
sliding, man.
Listen,
go ahead, bro. I'm finna slide up there. Go ahead, bro.
Real quick. Amateurs. Amateur records is not something that it's not like one of the requirements for the Hall of Fame. It looked good. It helped.
They should disregard it. Yeah.
Bingo. Thank you. Now
nobody
we
talk about what I do in freaking college football. They don't care about my high school when I'm going to the NFL fucking.
Oh no, I kind of disagree with that, man. I think it should be.
So what? Reggie Bush going to the Hall of Fame?
Well, college?
Hell no.
The college, the collegiate one, right?
No,
not
the NFL Hall of Fame.
The fuck? Yeah, we talking about the pros. Come on, man, that's crazy.
He married to Kim K.
Okay.
And the thing about it, Doc, is that's the main thing. And when you read about it, that's the main thing that they say to get him in there. The 376 to 1. Nobody cares. None of that shit don't mean nothing down there. Nobody
You're a
cares.
grown man
Nobody.
beating on 16-year-olds. Nobody
He
cares,
said
bro.
nobody can, bro. Y'all
Out
ruthless,
of
man.
370,
Y'all
hey, Doc,
ruthless, man.
out of 376 people, right? We got people here fighting 20 people and they fighting 15 cab drivers. How many cab drivers you think out of 370?
Hey, that's a good point now. That's a good point.
I probably fought them. I don't even remember.
That's a good point now. That's a good point now. That's a good point. But y'all get off of Loma, man. Hey, Chad, this ain't me, Chad. That's them on Loma head top. But yeah, man, I'm finna slide though, man. Shout out to my brother Ty, Kendrick, and Oster for pulling up, man. Yeah, man, God bless y'all boys, man. But yeah, Chad, I appreciate y'all rocking for real, man. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Don't forget Doctor's Corner, Doc's Corner newsletter dropping every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk real boxing. If you're a real boxing head, you want to know the ins and outs of boxing from a fighter's perspective, a trainer's perspective, and an educated fan's perspective. Check it out, man. Doc's Corner. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. docscorner.beehive.com. Free newsletter. You know what I'm saying? Get it while it's hot. But no, I do agree with a lot of points they made. I do agree with a lot of points that they made. We're gonna see how it goes. Give me a second, chat. I'll be right back. My bad, y'all. My bad. But yeah, I do think that given what Tio has, man, I think that but I agree with what Ty and what Kendrick and Oster said about this fight being bigger for Shakur. But the reason why I think it's bigger for Shakur is something that they didn't mention. But I agree with everything they said as well. And I think somebody hinted at it, but to me that Teofimo would be the biggest name that Shakur has beat, right? Shakur is a big name, but if Teo beats him, of course, but Teo still has Loma and Josh Taylor. Shakur doesn't have a guy that's Loma or Josh Taylor level, right? So Teofimo would be that guy. Of course, Teofimo has good wins, like I said, with Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring, William Zepeda, but he doesn't have a guy that's like Lomachenko or Josh Taylor. And since Teofimo beat Lomachenko and he's also decorated himself, I feel like this fight means more for him. And I think that people will forgive Teofimo for losing to Shakur more than they will forgive Shakur for losing to Teo, even though it doesn't make sense because Shakur is the one moving up. But that's just how boxing is, but majority of boxing fan bases, I'm talking about. So I do think that this fight is bigger for Shakur. I agree with the fellas. I was surprised that we all unanimously agreed though. Michael Adamas says Teo beat Loma for undisputed. They finessed him. I disagree with that. I don't think they finessed him. And Josh Taylor, who was undisputed and undefeated TO 6-time champion, y'all sleeping on him or hating, but call a spade a spade. Who the heck is sleeping on him? We literally just said that he is a Hall of Famer. So you hear what you want to hear, because maybe I don't even know. That's your business. You got to go through that. My boy literally just said that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So who is y'all? No one said that he's not a Hall of Famer. So who is y'all? I said if he loses to Shakur, I don't know if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I don't know. But you said call a spade, and I mean, either you're dumb, deaf, or blind, or maybe all three. I said blind because you can see in the chat that people also said that he was a Hall of Famer. So who is y'all that you're talking about? People in the chat said he's a Hall of Famer, so you could see that. People on the call said that he's a Hall of Famer, so you could hear that. So. And we said it verbatim, and we said it with using, I don't know, layman's terms. We didn't even use like some type of extensive vernacular either. So that's why you might be dumb if you didn't understand that. So I don't know what you're talking about. But people think because they don't say the exact same words that they're thinking in their compromised head that people are hating. Like this man just said we're hating. Who heck? No one even said, literally nobody said that he's not a Hall of Famer. Bro, people hear what they want, but I'm done, bro. Hey, sir, the world is crazy, bro. And these people are allowed to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. If we just talk about something as whimsical and inconsequential as boxing, we're just talking boxing, that's fine. But these same people will take the same mentality and go vote. Do something as important as voting, as picking the next leader of the country. It's crazy, bro. But anyway, man, y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves, man. Shout out to everybody for pulling up. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, you know, in addition to all that, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. Let me hit up this super chat that we had. Shout out to Big Dog Willie for the $2. Shout out to Oscar for the $5. Shout out to George for the $1. You know what I'm saying? Go get me a chicken nugget. I don't eat chicken nuggets, but you know, sound good. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Don't forget to check out the videos that we're dropping. You know, we drop videos all the time, every day. As long as God gives us the strength, we're going to keep on hustling. You know how we do, man. But y'all be easy, man. God bless y'all. And don't forget to smack that like button. You heard, man.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.